Mueller Report. What will it mean for us?
With the Democrats that have been pursuing the collusion headline.
Mayor Pete is gaining in the polls.
And being received so warmly, there are no words for that. It's overwhelming.
And on our road to Stonewall, Dame Elizabeth Taylor.
Once I didn't breathe and I had no vitals for 5 minutes.
Donald Trump, not the only GOP 2020 runner.
In the 30s.
It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And your host, fashion designer Carlos Marrero, trans activist Aaron Phoenix, reality star Chef Josie, DJ Diva Power Infiniti, Log Cabin Republican Joe Brookman, and our host, Al Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, good evening, America, and another exciting Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And what does that mean?
It's happening out.
It's happening out. That's right.
With Power Infiniti.
Wade, that's not in your contract. I'm Al, and I'm your moderator for It's Happening Out, and thank you for joining us. We have a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun things. Before we get right into America's most popular live gay talk show, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. First housekeeping note. You see the guy over here to my far left? That is Joe Brookman, our log cabin Republican.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Joe. Joe has been in Washington, D.C. in seclusion waiting for the Mueller Report, and it's now been released, and he feels like he can come out of the cave now that he has
because we
survived
concluded no collusion, no obstruction.
What's
Right.
the name of that Tina Turner song?
Hashtag-
The Bitch is Back.
The bitch is back.
The
Exactly.
bitch is back.
No,
bitch.
honey, that's Elton John.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
That's my
that
theme
one.
song.
That's
Elton
better
John,
for you.
right? Elton John, the bitch
Sorry.
is back. And housekeeping note number 2, all the way across the table to my right, I would like to know who this is sitting at the table, and what the hell did you do with Power Infiniti? Who are you?
Well, actually, I am Power. However, this is the drag. What you see every week is real.
All right, so
You drag kinging it this time?
am I going to call you Power, or am I going to call you Dale this evening?
You're going to call me Power Infiniti.
I'm going to call you
She
Power
said that.
Infiniti. That was a command, America, by the way. I got a little tingle up my spine
Right?
there as he
She
said that.
You're going to call me Power. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I know. It's like, woo. All right. So, again, welcome to our episode of It's Happening Out, America's most popular live gay talk show. Popular because in America, as many as 350,000 of you have watched this show.
you.
Nice.
So we really thank you. We want to remind you as we get started, this show is live. And live means there's no script. We have no scripted words at all. So as a result, you're going to hear it live. If we make mistakes, if we have technical issues, you get to see it. And in fact, it makes the show a hell of a lot more fun. We ask you to share us now. Perhaps you want to schedule a viewing party right now on your Facebook or your social media. We encourage you to do that. So we're live. We want you to join us, and we hope that you will share us with your friends and your family. Let's begin at the top of the show like we always do, which is our meme of the week. And our meme of the week hits very close to home this week. As you see, it's called Bitchalante. We had a Bitchalante this week, and the meme says, "I'm not a vigilante you need. I am the bitch you deserve. And you can look at the picture and see who that is. I have absolutely no idea. I didn't even understand the meme. Did you? No.
Oh, I got it. She will
All right.
clap you like Pelosi, bitch.
All right, okay. All right, thank you. All right, next we go to
My
the
favorite
best
new
thing.
thing of the week.
Next we go to the best thing of the week. And we start our show off by saying, now we're going to get into some serious stuff and we're going to play some games. We're going to have fun. But we like to start at the top of the show some of the best things of the week that we saw. And there were two things very interesting. Joe, hold on to your seat, because the best thing of the week was, did you know that Jesus was a member of the GOP? GOP Jesus. Watch this.
What is a man profited if he gain the whole world but lose his soul? A lot. He has profited a lot. One soul for the whole world, that is an amazing deal. Why do you look at the speck of dust in your brother's eye but ignore the plank in your own? Because of her emails. Yes. If a man strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him and shoot him. That is the law. By this they will know that you are my disciples. That you say, Merry Christmas! Christ! Christmas! That's my name in there, and I put it in there because I wanted it in there so we could all celebrate Big Boy Jesus' birthday time! Okay? Okay.
Rabbi, surely you can heal me.
My child, of course I could. But who would pay for it?
What? I don't understand. I don't have any money.
Yes, it is a sad story, but it does not make me responsible. Love your neighbor as yourself. Unless you are better than your neighbor, then tell them that they're weird and you do not want to bake them a cake.
Lord, your followers grow hungry and we have only this fish and bread.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, come on. It was good.
That was epic.
It was good. GOP Jesus, we loved it. Highly inappropriate.
And highly accurate.
And maybe a little accurate. Okay, so
Where's
our
the
first
lightning?
thing.
It's coming down.
Exactly. This week we have a bonus. We have a bonus best thing of the week. And GOP Jesus is kind of a tongue-in-cheek presentation. But there was an interview this week that caught our eye, and was it spectacular. I joked with our host at this afternoon's meeting. It's called Mr. First Lady. Watch this, Mr. First Lady.
Our first date, I was actually supposed to be coffee, but I got stuck in rush hour traffic getting out of Chicago, so we moved it to dinner. And when I pulled up in front of his house to pick him up, he opened the door, and we both said howdy at the same time. And then we both said, what? That's my word. So it was kind of a cute, meet cute. When I was 13, I didn't think that there was a world waiting for me, and it really does, especially when you come out and you find your community and you find those people. It takes time. I would have told myself to be patient. I wanted everything right away, but it takes time, and now I have an amazing husband, an amazing group of supportive friends.
And take it from Chasten and me, you're not free if a county clerk gets to tell you who you ought to marry because of their idea of their political beliefs.
Equality wasn't won when we were granted marriage equality. It was just the beginning. We can't be complacent with where we're at right now. We're just getting started. But something about watching him on that monitor and hearing him say, I'm running for president of the United States, and hearing the way that the crowd was responding to him, I was just overcome with emotion. I'm really overwhelmed with the amount of mail I'm getting and the messages I'm getting from people across the country, from teenagers who are living in small rural communities in traditionally red states who are saying, thank you so much for stepping up and for being who you are. I really admire you and your husband for being, really brave. We met a mother a couple weeks ago who has 2 gay children and who never imagined that we would be here with an openly gay man running for president. I'm really happy to carry the torch and bravely and proudly carry the banner for our community and for everyone.
Well, America, we're going to talk quite a bit about Mayor Pete tonight, of course. It's been quite a spectacular couple of weeks, right? But it's interesting because we've never been in a situation where we've even considered the possibility of a gay Mr. or Mrs. First Lady, which is interesting, and that's what caught our attention, the best thing of the week. You saw this video package. What did y'all think about what you
Nobody
saw?
calls it Mr. First Lady but you.
Nobody calls it Mr. First Lady. That's true.
First gentleman.
First gentleman.
Right. Let's at least
I
be,
think it's,
you know.
I think it's amazing that we are in a society where we could actually have an openly gay president. Just the fact that somebody could run and be openly gay. I don't care what platform, just running.
I just can't wait for the day that we've had so many gay people run for elected positions that we can actually examine and critically examine their policies.
But Aaron, don't we need point A to get to point Z?
Unfortunately, yeah. But
so
I mean,
we need to be happy with point A a little.
That's great. You know, that's a very feel-good sentiment, and I get that. And
when I was
but
young,
listen,
hold on.
I'm just tired of having Mayor Pete's dick shoved down my throat. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll have it. And besides that, sorry, he's married, but I'll take it.
True. No one did
Yeah, but all joking aside, I was like Kristen, I believe his name. Chaston. I was in a world that I didn't think this was going to happen. So I find him intelligent and genuine.
Actually, you just heard a sound that reminds me, America, listen to it carefully. Through the show, we have instructions to our production team about how much time we're going to talk about any subject. And just like The View or The Talk, I have problems taming the lions here at the table. We do this thing called Why Are You Still Talking? And each one of them have a chip in front of them. I'm holding up one of the chips. Hopefully they will too. They each get a chip. If they decide when we run out of time and that timer takes place, they want to continue talking, they can throw a chip in, and they're buying me a drink after the show. Josie has already reminded me that we're going out drinking after the show. Yes, we're going to have some fun.
And maybe if you're watching live, you'll find out where we'll be hanging out.
Yes, exactly. And they get 1 more minute when they throw in the chip. But I caution all of you, you only get to do it once.
So this is your way to shut us up like The Handmaid's Tale.
Exactly right. Why are
Next
you
week
still
I'll wear
talking?
red and white. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So wait, are you throwing in your chip?
I threw in my chip.
Already?
Joe is coming right in.
Wow.
You're going to see us slide. Welcome back, Joe.
Vengeance.
Oh my goodness, Washington is taking over.
No, I thought, Aaron, you made a very, very important point that the elections, regardless of who you are and what your preference is, the election should be about policies and how to govern the country. It should not be about the personality, right?
Yeah.
We need to focus on policy. And if we did more of that across the board, both sides of the fence, we would be able to accomplish so much more for this country if we would just take those personality and personal attacks out of the equation and focus on policy. Because there are so many things that we can all agree on that need to be addressed in this nation, that if we could just focus on those and blend our ideas together as opposed to hating and fighting one another, we will make this country great again. But it has to be together.
Wait.
What did they do to you while you were out there?
I was going to say, wait,
where's Joe?
Who took you out to the field and beat you until...
Right, there we go. All right, very good. And America, you can tell inside how much joy I have right now because Joe won't be able to throw a chip in on the mini Trump conversation. You can't steal Carlos's chip. No. It's going to be fun.
He would
night.
steal from the Latin
All right,
American.
let's move on to headlines. We have a lot of headlines
White
tonight.
people stealing from Latin people.
Yes.
Never
Sorry,
seen
I
that
took your
before.
joke.
Right,
Never seen
exactly.
it before.
All right, our headlines this week at It's Happening Out. Of course, we have to begin with Sri Lanka. And as everybody knows, big events this week. We posted last week in the show our hope for coexistence and peace of Muslims, Jews, and Christians in High Holy Week and on Easter Sunday in the midst of the High Holy Days for Passover for Jewish, one of the biggest terrorist attacks we've ever seen aimed at a religion takes place. To set up the terms of what happened in Sri Lanka, we want to invite you to watch this video first from the BBC. Watch this.
Hello, 290 people are now known to have died in a series of explosions that hit churches and luxury hotels in Sri Lanka on Easter Sunday. The country's Prime Minister says there should be an investigation into why intelligence reports of possible attacks were not acted upon. He also said the priority now was to catch those responsible for planning the attacks.
This is where people had gathered to pray, but a bomb ripped through the peace of Easter Sunday. Dozens were killed here at St. Anthony's Shrine in Colombo. At around the same time, an explosion took place here in this Catholic-dominated town just north of the capital, Colombo, at a church which is just down the street. We're not allowed to go past this point right now because of security reasons, but this is believed to have been the deadliest of all the bombings. For many, a holiday has turned into a nightmare. 20-year-old Jason Allen is from America. He's being treated for his injuries. Since its bloody civil war ended 10 years ago, it's the deadliest day Sri Lanka has seen.
Well, as you know, Sri Lanka is continuing to be breaking news. At this hour, as it's happening out, is live. More than 360 people have been declared dead from the terrorist incident in Sri Lanka, mostly in Christian and Catholic churches. It has been discussed, it hasn't been verified yet, that it is a response to the Muslim attacks that took place in New Zealand at Christchurch. What do y'all think about what we're watching in Sri Lanka?
I think it's a total disaster. It's a point of trying to escalate tensions between religions or people groups. It is more of a terrorist as opposed to an extremist action. Extremist actions are trying to, they're cause related. This is not a cause. This is a trying to annihilate a people group, whether it's Christians or it's Jews or it's Muslims. I mean, history has been, all through history, people have tried to exterminate people groups. And we really need to battle this. It is terrorism at its heart because we need to protect people groups.
Yeah. Any other thoughts about what we're watching in Sri Lanka?
I mean, there has to be a paradigm shift in the way we are approaching any kind of atrocity. Blood for blood doesn't work anymore.
No.
Yeah. We'll continue to watch what happens in Sri Lanka and what the lasting effects of it are. Next in the headlines this week, a little report came out. Did you hear about it? It's called
a fashion report?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a fashion report. The Mueller Report came out. Before we begin, let us show you a little bit of the video here of the summary of the Mueller Report. Watch this.
President Trump is spending Easter Sunday discussing the Mueller Report. In a series of tweets, the president doubled down on his claims that there was no collusion and also said the report was a hit job. He also slammed what he said were the radical left Democrats and went on to write, quote, "This is costing our country greatly and will cost the Democrats big time in 2020. This comes as Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren calls for Congress to begin impeachment proceedings. The topic was dominant on the Sunday morning talk shows. Here's some of what you may have missed.
Barr clearly misled the American people both on obstruction of justice, where there's plenty of evidence that there was obstruction laid out in the report.
I think the president deserves an apology from millions of people in this country, including those who have an awful lot of power in this country, in a particular political party. There will be no criminal charges brought against President Trump. There will be no criminal charges brought against anybody in his family or anybody connected to his campaign.
A lot of things are left out. A lot of things are false. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of things. Some things are false. A lot of things are questionable. There's nothing wrong with taking information from Russians.
There's nothing wrong with taking information.
Depends on where it came from.
Well, as everyone knows, you would have to be living under a rock of the significance of the Mueller Report. An incredible amount of time and attention has gone into it. I have to tell you, and we discussed this, I made some observations of, I'm not exactly sure we learned very much of this gigantic report. I want to show you a slide that we have prepared about some of the findings from Mueller with the Mueller Report. We're showing you that slide now about the Mueller Report and a direct quote from Mueller himself, noting, "If we had confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts, the president clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state." Now that's a mess.
So we didn't say that he did, but we didn't say
prosecutor-
that he didn't.
Exactly.
So we didn't not say that he didn't.
It's confusing what the special attorney prosecutor was trying to say. In the slide, we continue. On the note of obstruction of justice, Mueller said, "Based on the facts and the applicable legal standards, we are unable to reach judgment." It seemed pretty clear to me.
Which, in the rule of law, means you don't bring charges, which would have ended in them not coming up with a previous statement. If you don't have enough to charge somebody, then they're free. This report tries to say, well, I don't have enough, but maybe I can get you all to keep digging to find something. That's not the way the rule of law works.
Well, it's interesting to me in terms of Mueller's findings. First off, you see in the slide, this is a conservative political action committee that has prepared the report, put a cover on it with the Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz having an introduction to the Mueller report.
Another hat.
Exactly.
Right.
And raising money, by the way, if you buy that, you're supporting President Trump through a political action committee.
So please, log in and buy the Mueller report with the
what it will share with you basically, okay, is you can go ahead and listen to the bar summary, which will basically set up and lead you. It's like leading the witness. And or you can go ahead and take a look at the Mueller report, which your tax-paying dollar paid for, and go read it for yourself. If you take a look at a few things, there's no collusion, because that's not even a term. It's not even a legal term that's used. So yeah, of course there was no collusion. But page 9 talks about false statements that were shared by those who were interviewed, that there were deleted communications, that some of the witnesses pled the fifth. And then they also then go on to say that on page 10, the following page, that it's more kind of fuzzy math, if you want to say, in a statement. But basically it talks about while the report embodies factual and legal determinations that the office believes to be accurate and complete to the greatest extent possible. And given these identified gaps, all the obstruction, okay, the office cannot rule out the possibility that the invaluable information would shed additional light or cast in a new light the events described in the report.
Let me interrupt just 1 second. That entire summary, what's your reaction to me going blah, 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 who cares? What's your response to that?
Absolutely, because this week Hillary made the statement, if anyone other than Trump would have been convicted with this. But let's look at the facts with respect to Hillary. Okay, she destroyed 30,000 emails. She smashed servers. She smashed devices. Okay, she lied to Congress about Benghazi. She paid the Russians through Fusion GPS for the dossier.
Joe,
and she's not the president.
Forgive me for interrupting.
Back
and
to
lock them all up.
Standard.
Lock them all up.
Blah,
right?
blah, blah.
No,
who cares?
but these are indisputable, verified facts. There are none in the Mueller report.
Okay, all right.
She should go to jail.
And,
lock her up.
We're gonna move on unless anybody is throwing a chip.
Oh, yes.
in. Oh yes. The Power Infiniti chip. Here comes power.
This is the first time you've even used your chip.
Wait, I want that chip because this is gonna be the best beer I've ever had.
And I specifically waited till everybody got
Shut
their
up.
say in,
Yeah,
so that nobody can say shit after what I got to say.
Okay, all right.
Now listen here, honey. When it comes to this Mueller
Did you
report,
say hunties?
honey.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to this report, please note that What Mueller was saying was that he could not find anything with regards to the standards that he had to bring to be able to say that for sure he found collusion or obstruction. He could not exonerate Trump. At the same time, he couldn't say for sure that he did. However, to me, that is kind of like the OJ case. The prosecutors could not bring to the standard that they needed to bring the fact that OJ actually committed the crime. But we all know that he did. So I don't need a Mueller report to tell me that Trump is a lying crook. Mueller or no Mueller, I'm convinced. Period, point blank. And I ended right on time.
All right. All right. Of course, I had to ask my friend Napoleon, please, because I tried very hard, America, to get President Trump to sit on the panel tonight to answer a few questions.
Oh, you didn't ask me while I was in D.C.
Well, that's right. You were in your secret bunker waiting for the Mueller report to be revealed. So I got the next best thing. Napoleon plays Mr. President. And we ask a couple of questions asking Napoleon to quote the president. These are actual quotes. The first one, so thank you, Napoleon, and he's going to bring you some of the messages from the president. This, to start with, is what President Trump said in a tweet following William Barr's summary to Congress that there was no collusion. Here's what Mr. President said.
No collusion, no obstruction, complete and total exoneration.
All right. And then this is what Mr. Trump said after the redacted report. The short version of the report was sent to Congress. This is what President Trump said on the redacted report after it was released.
Because I never agreed to testify, there was no need for me to respond to statements made in the report about me, some of which are complete and total bullshit, and were only given to make the other person look good or me to look bad. It was an illegally started hoax that never should have happened.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for answering our questions. And then several days later, President Trump tweeted something very interesting. And remember, America, we have the ability to put his words back in front of you because Napoleon plays Mr. President so well. Here's what he said when the full redacted report was released. Watch this.
Only high crimes and misdemeanors can lead to impeachment. There were no crimes by me, no collusion, no obstruction, so you can't impeach. It was the Democrats that committed the crimes, not your Republican president. Tables are finally turning on the witch hunt.
Finally turning on the witch hunt.
Amen.
Amen. All right. And of course,
lock them all up.
The most important statement that our president said from the Mueller report is this. Mr. Trump, what do you have to say?
This is the end of my presidency. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm fucked.
I think Trump wishes he was that cute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That was the most sincere statement that was
Mr.
said.
Trump, thank you very much. And thank you, Napoleon Plays. We love having you
Napoleon.
back here playing Mr. President. All right, let's move on in other news. This week, Nevada had a big law pass. Panic as a defense over gay or transsexual issues, using it as a defense has been banned as a defense for crime. We show you the slide in terms of Nevada doing this, saying you can't claim the defense in a crime because you were afraid of gay or transsexuals.
That just sounds so stupid.
So what do y'all think? Any thoughts about what Nevada did?
He has something to say.
No, I mean,
no, Aaron.
I mean, I wish that it was as stupid as it sounds. Truly, I do.
I agree.
I mean, my first thought was of legal sex workers in Vegas. This is a big deal for them who happen to be trans or happen to be gay. So that's a big deal. But also, it's a level of awareness thing. 46 states in the U.S. where it's still legal to say, well, I freaked out because they were trans, or I freaked out because they were gay and they hit on me. And that be used, it was used as recently as April of last year to get charges reduced from murder to manslaughter. In one case, it's been used dozens of times and worked. And
Really?
Yes, it's a common defense. It's a common defense, and it's just, it blows my mind that it's a defense that is actually used and that is actually taken seriously by any court. But this is one of those situations where 20, 30 years down the line, hopefully, we're going to look back at this and say, boy, I can't believe that we were that stupid as a society.
Yeah. Well, Nevada has done it this week, and we congratulate Nevada for doing it.
Yes.
We got more. We got more. Yeah.
All right,
You're gonna be drunk
Aaron,
tonight,
buy
baby.
me another drink. All right.
Yeah,
Aaron?
this is a big deal. I'm shaking as I'm talking about it because the trans community, this is such a huge stigma that we as trans people, and especially the trans women, are faced with. As far as, I've been in situations where someone misunderstood what I told them, where someone didn't understand what MTF meant or what FTM meant, and as a result got angry, got hostile, and even got to the point of violence. This is something that is going to have a serious effect on a lot of people, and that's great, but we have got 46 states. This is only the 4th state to pass it. This is such a huge deal. We have to push further than this. If you live in the state of Florida, and I'm inviting all of you, please keep an eye on my page. As of by the time we come back to this table next week, I will have drafted a petition to start in the state of Florida to try to lobby to do the same thing here, to eliminate that panic defense here.
That's
and
awesome.
I encourage everybody watching in every state that you live in to please to try to do the same. Do some research on your state laws and find out what you can do to lobby for that.
Awesome. I'm glad you came in. I'm going to enjoy that beer. Thank you. Other big news this week is commercial news. Converse. You heard of them? An interesting thing happened, as we all know, as gay America knows. We're approaching Pride Month and the Stonewall celebration in June of 2019. And we're showing you a slide of Converse's announcement this week of their new Pride sneaker line. It supports the trans community and the gay community in all the rainbow colors and more. And by the way, to corporate America that's listening to this, we will peg this video package and show this portion of our headline news this coming week, I think as early as tomorrow. You should pay attention to this. How come? Converse has already, in the first week of announcement, sold out all of the adult shoes that they have in America. So if you didn't get them, you're not getting them, at least for a while.
Well, I'm just going to pay triple for them.
Now, if you go on their website, you can make custom ones with all of the colors.
Yep.
I've already made my custom design, and they say Big Dick Energy on the side.
Dude, are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. I would never play about such a serious matter.
You must wear that to a show, and we'll put that right on the show and show it. Put your big foot right up here in the middle of this table, right?
It would knock the whole thing over.
Again, right. What do y'all think about what Converse is doing?
I think Converse. I think it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
I love it because I think I'm not one to be wearing sometimes the rainbow flag. It's a cooler way, is a modern approach to the rainbow flag, and sometimes those T-shirts can just be a little.
I love the rainbow bottoms. It's like red bottoms, but more
love
fabulous.
the bottoms too.
I'm so here for it.
I've heard that about
my
you.
shoe says Big Dick Puerto Rican on the bottom.
Yes,
How much are the shoes?
Yes.
And that's what it says.
No.
How much are the shoes?
They're at $88.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they are
$80.
affordable,
So
and
not
that's what
outrageous.
I love. That's great.
So for
And they
those
free
of you,
shipping.
Everyone should have
for
a
those
pair.
for those of you that can't afford that, Sharpies will also get you.
True. Absolutely.
I'm gonna wait till they come to Walmart.
Power said,
1,000 with some rhinestones. You'll have your custom
America,
pair.
Power said at the host meeting today, I ain't buying the shoes this way. I'm buying white, and I'm using magic markers to rainbow up my Converse shoes. Congratulations to Converse.
Yes.
It's brilliant. Congratulations to you.
And call us about
Other
being a sponsor
news,
because clearly
this
we're all
week,
fans.
and we don't have a slide for it because it's really breaking, is we congratulate our second city here in Florida, Tampa. Our second city, we consider ourselves a metroplex here in South Florida, Broward, Dade County, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. Tampa's our second city, and we congratulate the news in Tampa that for the first time in history, remember, up until 2014, gay pride meetings in Hillsborough County were banned, or maybe 2013. So dramatic progress
Girl,
has
spit
taken.
it out. What happened?
And
You're
in
making
the
me
last
cough, okay?
5 years, the progress took place on Tuesday when they elected their first gay lesbian mayor in Tampa. Congratulations, Tampa, on this big news. Mayor Castor, I know, was the police chief of Hillsborough County, or the city of Tampa, sorry, and is the new mayor of
Famous
Tampa.
for bright biking while black.
Last news that we want to show you this week, big headline. We're
I went
getting
there.
ready to tell you a lot about it. Everyone at It's Happening Out is passionate about Stonewall and the celebration that's coming in June of 2019, now just about 3 months away. We are very happy to announce that the Stonewall Pride celebration that will take place on June 15th, guess who is going to be on the center stage broadcasting a show in advance of the parade? Not RuPaul.
The next
It's
best
in the
thing.
parade itself. Not just me. All of our cast members here will be broadcasting Stonewall. And we're going to do a big announcement on it. We're really excited about our participation. It's going to be an amazing event, and we're so very proud to be associated
That's my
with the
favorite national holiday.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right. Last thing that we want to tell you in our headlines. Again, we don't have a slide, but we're telling you. Of course, you're hearing the news about what's going on in Cuba, and the Helms-Burton Act is getting ready to be enacted. It's Happening Out is going to Havana Pride May 9th, and you have heard the administration is getting ready to ban it and escalate it on steroids. Next Wednesday, we're going to have members that are going with It's Happening Out to Havana, and we're going to have a town hall meeting in the middle of our show talking about what's going on in Cuba in preparation for our departure May 9th to talk about how we're supporting the gay community in Cuba. And it's our first time and probably our last time to be able to do it simultaneously. And we're going to bring that to you next week, May 1st's edition of It's Happening Out.
Thank you, Joe.
Those are Joe's actually going with us to
I hope they
Havana.
leave him there.
I can't wait. I can't wait. No, you're only kidding. All right, that's our
Good
headlines.
Cuban boys, so
we
I'm
have
good.
to dissect our headlines by moving on to my favorite segment in the show called I'd Swallow That.
No, thank
Now, you see in front of us, you know, because many of you talked, last week we moved to high-octane vodka shots. This week we have a spokesman for Live Proud Vodka.
A brand ambassador.
They are the brand ambassador. And we're going to do a little Live Proud. I'm going to taste it for the first time tonight. That's what you see in front of us, is we have shots for Live Proud Vodka. We encourage you to play at home with us. I'm going to ask 6 questions. Our hosts don't know these questions. It's an agree or disagree game. And if you agree, you take the shot. And there's the potential of 6 Live Proud vodka shots here tonight. And if
Hell
it's
yeah.
anything like last week, we're off to the races. Let's say it that way.
We might not be so proud after
Yes,
the shot.
exactly.
It is an LGBT vodka. So this is really.
Will it make me
It is
gay?
owned.
Does it have sex with other vodkas at the same time?
Oh my God!
All right.
Is it personal?
Let's play
And most
I
importantly,
Swallow
it'll turn your
That.
teeth the color of the pride flag.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. Our teeth changed color last week. So anyway, all right. I'd Swallow That,
God.
America. Play along with us. You ready?
Yes.
Question number 1. My Live Proud vodka ready.
You behave, Joseph.
Question number 1. I'd swallow that. There will be a trans president in my lifetime.
I'm gonna hope.
Hope.
Did somebody say it's gonna be
That's
Aaron?
enough. I'll do that.
Lord, I'm too good of a person to run for
Joe and I
president.
had dinner last night, and we talked about this segment. Joe and I seem to like alcohol far too much.
We all know. It's okay.
I love alcohol, and I can't
I
drink.
mean,
I
so
can't.
are you asking if you'd
Thank you
swallow
for your
that?
honesty.
Well,
It's
whatever,
not-
I
it's
know.
my time
There we
drinking.
go.
There
my
will
time
be.
drinking with all the
You're
service
toasting
members.
saying there will be. All right. Only two of us think
I
that.
wish I could.
I
Love
didn't
you,
even think
love
there was
you,
gonna be
Army,
black
Navy, Air
friends.
Force,
Wait.
and Marines.
Wait.
Me too.
The older, mature white guys said there's going to
You
be
guys
a
cheated.
president. A trans
You guys
president.
cheated. You guys cheated. That was not the question. The question was, will there be, not do I hope for. Hope.
You're right. No,
So
no.
y'all
I
cheated.
take the hope out. There will be a trans president in.
I was saying,
our
so regurgitate those
Cause,
drinks.
Because baby, you know how long I'm going to live? A long
110.
time.
Question
That's
two.
right.
Not
No,
thinking like that,
no,
girl.
they're going to put you in the.
That's
they're
what
gonna
my
put
family.
you in the GOP
Moonshine
recycle machine
makes
because
us
you
last
get
a
He went
long
out and did them
time.
sacrifices to earn him more years
All right.
onto his life.
Question
so
number
they're
two.
going to be here for
Pickling him.
600
I've lost
years.
control, America. I've lost
They're
control. Help me.
pickling him.
I'd swallow that. I have slept with someone whose name I still don't know.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Whoa! I don't. I didn't.
Wait.
What's the question?
I
ain't
have
even need to
slept with
finish-
someone
you ain't
whose
even need to
name I
finish the-
still don't know.
You ain't need to finish the
Oh,
question.
yeah.
huh?
No.
I still don't know.
as a matter of
Did you
fact-
do it?
Yes.
Yo. Wait, did
We didn't
everybody
say-
do it?
We didn't say one for every person you slept with whose name
Oh,
you
that
don't
would
know.
take everybody's shot on the table
Wait,
and more.
The show would immediately
And that's just for
end.
this week.
All right.
And I'm not even going to say what I
What's the name
refer
of the,
to her
what's the
as.
name of the place?
Wait,
Live Proud or whatever?
wait. The
Live Proud.
news
What's the name of the
person.
vodka?
Live Proud Vodka.
Oh, I
Proud.
put them out of business if we had to do that.
Oh.
Wait, the news person in me smells an interesting story. Tell me the name you did. You said I'm not even going to say what the name was. What was the name?
Okay. So I hope no one gets offended, but you probably will. So I didn't remember this girl's name, and well, we also broke my bed.
Oh,
and so,
that was
I remember you
bragging.
talking about that story.
yeah. And so when I was referring to her the next day to a friend, I was like, and it was during the Olympics and whatever, and she was Jewish.
What
and
game?
so
What
whatever-
sport were you watching?
Whatever, the
All right.
Gymnastics.
tumbling, yeah, you know.
Tumbling.
And anyways, I called her Mary Jew Retton because that's how I remembered her.
Mary Retton.
Mary Jew Retton.
Mary.
Like
Oh
she,
my
God.
because she was little, Jewish, and kind of like gymnast body, and so that's how I remember.
I hope she's watching. right
Name
now.
association.
God.
Wait.
Oh, don't worry. She came later. Not.
Well,
She
I
did.
didn't-
There we
Hopefully.
now we're really oversharing.
Yeah.
More than one.
No, one other night.
I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, she showed up with a bunch of
That's
her friends
racist.
on
A
South
bunch of
Beach
friends
while I was
with
doing
you.
the door,
Right.
and she goes, "You
Oh.
don't remember me,
I
do
thought
you?"
I thought you were going to do a group thing.
Yeah. Wow.
I was like, "Of
All
course
right,
I
wait.
do."
That's
Hey,
later in
girl.
the
Sweetie,
show.
you look great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're out of
Okay.
control, America.
You just
All
It was
right.
a long
Hey,
time ago.
Studley.
Okay, I'm married now.
I'm so sad. Marcy had to go back to the restaurant. They own Bubbles
Oh,
and
no.
Pearls.
Yeah.
She came. She did makeup for
She did
everybody.
come.
Went back to the restaurant.
Twice.
We're going to hang out with her tonight, right?
Yeah, I
Oh,
hope.
and this is going to be the first story. Marcy, oh my God, you're not going to believe the story that you heard. All right, question number 3. I'd swallow that. Question 3. Here's the opposite of your story.
Oh God.
I'd swallow that. I have fallen asleep during sex.
All right, I have.
It was alcohol inebriated, aided.
No, not really.
I mean, that's what happens when you fuck for hours.
You
so,
didn't-
you know.
Josie is out of control tonight.
Listen, when you on hour 16,
I
girl.
want, wait,
Oh, my
America,
God.
for the first time in my life, I want to be a lesbian.
But you are Blanche.
Girl, that wasn't when I was a lesbian. That was recent.
Question number 4. I'd swallow that.
Oh my.
I'd rather pay for everyone's Uber than be a designated driver.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
No.
no.
No?
I'd rather be a designated driver.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
I'd rather be a designated driver.
Would you? Yeah, actually, so would I. All right. Question number 5. I'd swallow that.
I got you, Josie. I got you.
Y'all drive it. All right.
We're
Somebody
getting the
else is
vibe from
driving
you
tonight.
tonight, by the way. All
I'll
right.
get my own
If
Uber,
we going
bitches.
out, Josie's going out. Okay. All right.
All right, question.
Going
Production's going, oh my God, can you control the sound at the table? No, we can't. All right, question number 5. No.
Whoa.
Question number 5.
Yeah, bitch. Keep it going.
I try to stay friends with all my exes.
I mean, I tried.
Try. This says try.
Right.
It's a continued effort. You don't? Really?
I mean, I tried, but it didn't last for very long.
I actually
I
have
am
to
friends
say
with my
that
ex-wife.
most of my best friends are my exes.
Yeah.
No joke.
I had
There's
terrible.
one that lives in Mexico. We talk every day.
I've had terrible
Yes, I dated a
taste,
Latin.
Who was white?
I have a friend watching in my hometown that already knows he's my best friend. He knows that. All right.
Really? Can we talk more about that?
I only have one ex.
He has a very
and,
famous name.
Him and I are
RuPaul.
quite good friends. I kind of believe that if you love somebody, if it's true love, then true love never dies. It might change, but it never dies.
I so believe
100%.
that. I agree.
They know your
believe
deepest,
that.
darkest secrets. They know your Achilles heels. They know everything. So
I'm
there
curious.
will be
I'm curious. Seriously, to both of those observations, you're a certain age. You're a certain age. I'm a certain age. Is that a maturity issue versus 20-something queerlings not understanding that yet?
I don't know if I don't know. Well, I don't know if
think
it's
so.
about age, but I think it's about maturity.
Maturity.
And I think it's
you
about-
could be mature at any age. So I think it is about maturity.
Very good. And I think it's about the quality of the people that you're dating.
There you have it.
Exactly.
I'm the mature one.
That part right there, because
If they're quality people, they're quality people.
Listen,
You want them
exactly.
around.
All right. I
If they're-
love
if they're
that.
toxic as hell, different story.
Yeah.
We're getting deep here tonight.
Wait, yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on. Last question. I'd swallow that. I'd swallow that. Question 6. I have lied to a friend and said they looked great. They didn't.
Oh, hell no.
No.
Trust me. You want to know
I
the
would
truth?
never
Ask
do
me to
that.
look good,
No.
okay?
I'm an enabler. Uh-oh. I drink
Bad
a lot
fashion?
of vodka. No, well,
No,
we're going to
no,
talk
no,
about
no.
that.
No,
okay,
no, no, no,
okay,
no.
Richard.
No.
You're gonna have to work on him on
in
that.
my circle of friends, you know, you got it straight up.
Yeah.
Girl, where are you going looking like that? No, darling.
You're looking like a hot
Wait,
mess, baby.
is that true? Do you always, you're honest no matter what?
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, it's not just me, it's my entire group of friends.
No,
We're all
have
like
to
wait,
be.
I want to ask you. So last week when you told me that Sean Palacios looked absolutely horrible in that outfit that he was wearing.
She had told
where
him already.
You were told.
That's a
I
lie,
love you,
kid.
Sean. Ask me about that later.
That was
I'll tell you
off-screen,
everything.
Sean. That's what she said.
Exactly. Wait, I may be in trouble, by the way, on these vodkas. Liv, explain the vodka one
all right,
more
so
time.
you have to just know, Live Proud Vodka is a vodka from Indiana, and it's the whole mission from from the owners and the creators were about encouraging and empowering the LGBT community. A part of the proceeds from each bottle go back to LGBT issues. They work with Pulse. They have donated money all across the country. They are all about, they tapped into me because they know I am living proud and I am living bold and I am living out, okay? So let's do it.
That. And Living Proud Vodka, by the way, America, we're doing this totally because we love Living Proud Vodka because we love Josie Malave Smith. And so we're doing it with no commitment from you
It's
at
happening
all.
right in front of our very eyes.
I know.
It's just crumbling. It's just
I love this
disintegrating.
woman. I do. I love you.
Oh
I
my
love you.
God. He's
All
already
right.
onto the I love you.
All
Oh
right.
my God, take it to the bedroom.
And
He wanted to be a lesbian.
I
Tonight
know.
would be the night,
This
bitches.
girl breaks beds. I'm titillated.
You're
All right.
titillated?
All right, we're moving out of it's. I'd swallow that. All right, let's move on.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Our next segment is talking about breaking down the 2020 election, and first. We want to show you a video about what Donald Trump is doing in his fundraising efforts to be reelected in 2020. Watch this.
President Trump has been fundraising for his 2020 re-election campaign since 2017, and it's paying off.
This is really a re-election machine like we have never seen before. President Trump and the committees that raise money for his candidacy have raised more than $100 million for his 2020 campaign. This is unheard of for any sitting president. What they do is they tell President Trump's base, President Trump is under attack. The Democrats are coming after him. We need your money. We need your support. Please sign this petition. Please support him. Donate $5, donate $20, and it works.
The Democratic National Committee, on the other hand, isn't having the same fundraising luck.
The Democratic National Committee has been rebuilding since the loss of Hillary Clinton in 2016, and they are still trying to get donors to have trust in them again, to show donors that 2020 is going to be different from 2016. So when you compare the amount of money that a Democratic presidential candidate is going to need in order to compete with President Trump, it's just really unfathomable how difficult that's going to be for the Democrat.
Another realm where Trump already has a huge head start is online.
President Trump's re-election campaign is already a huge advertiser on Google and Facebook. You know, to run a Facebook ad or a Google ad, it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, but to run a well-placed ad and have a well-paid digital team that's smart and the best in the business to be able to run that kind of campaign, that's where it costs a lot of money. Money is not everything for a political campaign. Hillary Clinton outraised Trump in 2016, but she lost. So this huge fundraising start that President Trump has doesn't mean that he's guaranteed to win in 2020, but it certainly gives him a good head start.
I'm sorry, what? Power?
You
What
are
did
drunk.
say?
That's hilarious.
When we came out of that, they told us to clap. Oh no, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I clap because it's hilarious.
We don't do applause on
It's like-
demand.
It's called master marketing.
Master marketing. All right.
So great. That's what we want as a president.
Show you a slide that we prepared about is the refrigerator running. Watch this. Look at this slide about the refrigerator running. Is your refrigerator running? Because I may vote for you in 2020. There are so many Democrats running.
Oh my God.
In 2020, we do not know who we're going to vote for. There are so many. Now, watch this slide that we're going to put up in terms of the hats that the GOP is promoting.
I think
Joe
I have all
has,
of them.
right.
His name
Joe
is
has
and a
all
few
these
more.
hats. But look at them. In these hats, there is deplorable. Make
I have that one.
Democrats cry again. I love
don't
that.
have that one. I really want that
You
one.
got to get that one.
I have to have
2020.
that one.
A pink version of Make America Great Again, like Napoleon
I have
plays.
that. That
Dad,
is mine.
stop looking.
That's mine.
Stop looking, Dad.
Yeah. What do y'all think about all the Democratic candidates running for president? What do y'all think?
Well, why did we put that up if we're going to talk about the Democrats?
That's much more appealing.
doesn't know what we're talking about
Let's talk
anymore.
about that. You can't say
It's called brand
hatred
marketing.
without red hats. So
Oh.
we could talk
I'll
about
bring
that.
that
Hanging them up
next
right
time.
next to the white hoods.
Right.
Oh.
Handmaid's
as far as
Tale.
all the Democratic candidates running, I think that the more options for us right now, the better. We don't really have to decide on who we want right now. I don't.
Thankfully.
We as
I say
Democrats
keep
don't
the
have to-
Republicans guessing, right?
Yeah, we don't have to decide
We're coming
right
from
now.
all
It's still
angles.
so
It's
early.
like flanking. You know what I mean?
Do you think Mayor Pete is our answer or not?
No.
I would say that I don't know, and that's the wonderful thing about this process is we get to vet, we get to research, and we have the liberty and the freedom of being able to actually explore our candidates. I would rather these viable choices than not. Last time we only had Hillary.
To your observation, let's make sure we're clear, America.
I'll swallow that. Go.
In 2007, President Obama won 2008. At this point in 2007, President Barack Obama, was Senator Obama was this much. He had no impact yet nationally at all.
Well, it's historic. These early polls, it's just like we're bored.
Right.
Listen, being bored is a luxury, okay?
Oh, wow.
And the fact that we're like, oh yeah, who's the front runner right now? We don't. Guys,
Well, let's
please.
let's not
Focus
take,
on your life.
Let's not take for granted, though, the fact that before the last election, people were not nearly as engaged in politics and aware of what's going on in the world as they are now.
Yep.
So if Trump has done anything good, it's that he's gotten people engaged and he's gotten people paying the fuck attention.
Sure has. He
So-
woke me up. Before this,
Yeah.
I really didn't give a damn.
But my perspective on the Democratic field is, you have every flavor of the month, and it's like everybody's coming out to run with a specific flavor, right? Trying to figure out, it's like throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
But it's also about trying to polarize segments of the population, which is really, it is.
Todd, I'd like you to meet Kettle.
Yeah.
Have you been introduced before?
Polarizing the Democrats?
So-
No.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Trumpy.
it's very it's very affinity group oriented, and a lot of that has been how I pit one group against another.
What was that about the plank in your eye?
There's a really good point
My
here.
focus is to come back and say, if we could focus on policy and not affinity group, or whether I'm gay, or whether I'm Cory Booker, or whether I'm Kamala Harris, or whether I'm Omar.
Joe,
Okay, I'm going to drop in on this one.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm going to drop in on this one because I just need to say this, okay? Listen, that's the narrative that the Republican Party is pushing right now.
No, that's
that
my
there's
narrative.
so many that there are so many Democratic candidates in the pool right now, and my brother over here, Joe Brookman, just stated that basically his experience of it is that they're polarizing and also pitting each other against one another. Let me tell you what's going on right now, okay, guys? There are people who have voices who are stepping up to be heard. Who are you going to listen to? That's your next Democratic candidate.
Amen.
I'm curious, Joe. I want to ask you seriously. Do you the issue with the South Bend mayor, Mayor Pete? Can you see someone in the Republican Party saying this is a viable candidate in the Democratic Party that is an unbeatable candidate? Do you see one yet?
I don't see one yet. I think in terms of likability or attractiveness, a Mayor Pete, because he doesn't have a record to really run on, right, is kind of like an Obama at that time.
Or Trump.
Well, Trump had years of commentary, but you're correct. He didn't have the same level of political experience
right.
To run on, but more business and international experience. But I think Mayor Pete does. Many of the other candidates are going to be caught up in, unfortunately, in their prior lives and how they're trying to recast themselves and being in conflict with everything that's been said before and what they're going after now, that I think they will fall by the wayside. And that includes Joe Biden, because honestly, in 40 years, what has Joe Biden done?
He was the vice president.
Well,
but he didn't do anything
but
then.
Wait. Let me refocus the question more specifically. Can you see someone defeated? Now, do the best you can to my broad question. Can you see somebody finding a path in all of these millions of candidates in the Democratic Party, finding a path to defeating Donald Trump?
You want to know?
Now, set Donald Trump aside for a second.
Do you want to know who I think would be the most formidable candidate?
Yes.
Police. I apologize to anybody and everybody, but it's Michelle Obama.
That's a setup.
No, it's not a setup.
That's a setup.
They have the machine. She has the name recognition. There are people that love Michelle regardless of anything she does or says, and she can play.
Because she's fierce, that's why.
Right. Okay. I understand that.
I'm just
I understand.
And if she doesn't run this time, she will run in the next election.
I don't think so.
I guarantee it.
All right.
Let's
Let's
hope.
set Michelle Obama aside. In terms of what we've heard so far, is there anyone that you see from your perspective in the Republican set that is someone that is fierce in terms of
Did I hear an
challenging
Obama
the
Harris?
president that could potentially win? Anyone
On the Republican side?
On the Democratic side.
On the Democratic side.
Of like candidates that are
Not-
actually
not-
running.
Not that have really come out.
No
at the moment.
one
No one
so
at the
far.
moment. Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
But he could challenge, but he
Buttigieg.
wouldn't win.
He
He
would
has
not
no
win.
substance.
Yeah. No
And he's a
substance.
whole Republican, so I mean.
Yeah.
And what?
Okay.
I said
All
he's
right.
the whole Republican, so I mean, either way.
What do you need?
We want to
disgusting.
show you a slide of what the Republicans are doing. Again, the Trump hats, the deplorable, Make Democrats Cry Again, and the pink version of Make America Great Again, which I love because actually Joe was way ahead of the curve. In 2016, when you went to the Democratic National, or I'm sorry,
Republican
when you
National
went to the Republican National,
They wouldn't let me
Convention.
anywhere close to the Democratic
Right. He walked into the Republican National
They wouldn't
Convention with a pink "Make America Great" hat again. Now it's standard issue for 2020. Congratulations,
Thank
Joe.
you very
good
much.
job.
Congratulations,
Good job.
seriously.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
that's actually
virtually no one here in the studio audience applauded.
So no, it's okay.
applauded.
But let's make a point of this in terms of the DC delegation. We have 18 delegates at the Republican National Convention. Half of our delegates were gay. We were representing gay. We were an advocate in terms of the platform committee. We were all out working to change this.
We're about to take over this show right now, Joe, because there's a lot of conversation that gets to be had about Republicans, gay Republicans, and you know, as much as I can applaud a gay Republican wearing a pink hat during the Trump campaign and all that fun stuff, sounds like a real party. Okay, I'm gonna just say this: we really need to address real issues, and there's not. We cannot continue to overlook and gloss over.
Okay, I need
wait. Hold on. I'm going to stop the conversation because we're over time, and you've got to buy in or step in by me.
Hey, that's mine.
Wait,
We're all
that's
bought
not
in.
No.
I've been holding on.
Take that chip back.
No,
Wait.
I'm sorry. No, this is way too important.
All right.
To let you stop me.
All right.
Because it was not covered in any of the media, okay, at the Republican National Convention. Every major speaker that was there talked about LGBTQ rights and privileges. And every time, in every major speaker, there was a standing ovation. And nobody, CNN, Fox, none of them covered that.
Well, why doesn't Fox cover it?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't
bitch,
know.
there you go.
Wait.
Who were the
Because
speakers
they're
during
basically
those
to prove
moments
it.
who were
And
saying
that's exactly the
wait,
point
wait,
we're
wait.
Are we
talking
over
about.
time?
Wait.
Are we over time?
We are over time.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
So I want to say, this is the middle of April of 2019. Between now and November 20, Joe has justified the conversation among us over and over and over again.
I'll never be a Trumpian, so I'm saying that right now, all right?
We are going to discuss this and discuss this and discuss this. America, if Donald Trump being reelected in November of 2020 is important to you, I promise you, it's happening out is going to be a centerpiece of this conversation. Whether you agree with Joe's perspective or do not agree with Joe's perspective, we are going to be the center point of the battle of this conversation.
And hopefully the next time that this conversation comes up, we'll have a little bit more time to discuss it, and most of that time will not be spent with you interviewing Joe.
The shots are kicking in, bitches.
Y'all had a 4-week dry spell.
All
Okay,
right, okay.
4-week dry spell. All right.
That's why it was laughing. All right.
I might have to go back on my anxiety meds now that Joe's
All right.
back.
Talking about me?
Let's move on. All right.
Speaking of
Next,
talking about
next
me?
segment that we're going to talk about
Okay.
is, as everyone in America already knows, I know everything.
Yeah.
Let's let that go. I know
Exactly.
everything. So I challenge our host every week
Yay,
to tell me something I don't know, because I love to learn new things. So, host, tell me something I don't know.
Oh, and I've been saving this one for weeks.
All right, here we go. Wait.
There you go.
All right, here we
Let
go.
me start it off. Here is something that you don't know, Al. My name is spelled with an I at the end of it, not infinity with a Y. Now, the
Dale
reason
Wilson here with us tonight is a bit.
the reason that I'm saying that may be a little inside thing among our cast and crew, but let me bring it to the light. Almost every single week when we have our papers, can I have one? When we have our sheets, our segment sheets, he will write something that includes my name. And we have done this show since September 20th. Today is what? April what?
24th.
April 24th. And this man still consistently and consecutively gets my name wrong.
Honey,
so Al, my
it's
name
called-
is spelled
it's called
INFI.
It's called, no,
Autocorrect.
that's not true.
If it
It's
makes
called,
you feel better,
wait,
Power.
It's called privileged white man.
Oh,
Listen, I want to soften the blow because if it makes you feel better, my mother, who adores you and like idolizes you, she calls you dynamite.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I was like, Mom, it's power. She goes, dynamite.
That's a compliment, though.
All right, you told me something I didn't know. I dismissed it immediately.
Of course, in one ear, not the other.
Well, Al,
All right,
I think
somebody
you're gonna
else.
like.
All
I
right.
think you're gonna like this.
Okay.
'Cause I know you're a big fan of American Horror Story.
I am.
Were you a fan of Glee?
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Hello, chorus girl. So I mean it in a good way.
Yes.
I mean,
Unique
how high
and
was
I
that
are
voice
just
for
like
a
this.
top?
Shut
up, blouse. All right, so Ryan,
Unique and I are just like this.
So Ryan Murphy
Okay.
has a new series in
Speaking of
Netflix,
femtops.
and it's about a student in Santa Barbara who knows since he was at the age of 7 that he was supposed to be the president of the United States. And this show has none other than the lovely Judith Light, who is an amazing LGBT supporter and one of my favorite actresses of all time, Bette Midler.
Oh, wow.
So that is something to watch for people.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on
I love
Netflix.
Ryan Murphy.
Netflix and sex.
And-
No, until.
To my friend Unique, who was the drag queen in Glee, I say hello. Has done the cruise before.
Drop.
Name drop.
Name drop.
All
Name
right.
drop.
Name drop.
Tell me something I didn't know. Somebody else?
Okay, well, let's talk about some history and some religion here. King James, who commissioned the
Wait,
English
you're
version.
going to do a Bible
I'm doing a
reference?
Bible reference, yes. I read the whole entire
Let's-
Bible
let's-
almost when I was a
let's
kid.
not
I'm
be
that nerd.
Let's not be
Alright.
sacrilegious to King James.
Listen, I was raised Catholic, so King
I'm
James.
sorry.
Swear to God.
Oh.
Yes, swear to God. Yes. As I go ahead and commit the first one right there.
One would not know it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So King James, who commissioned the English version of the Bible, that of course everybody basically knows, and most people have not actually read, was known for his harsh laws condemning sodomy as a horrible and unforgivable crime. He was gay.
Ooh.
What?
He was gay, and in fact, it was no secret at the time either. His wife knew it. His wife and his lover wrote letters back and forth to him, and everybody who worked in the castle knew it.
I'm
Everybody.
getting any resistance.
So
from
I'm
Joe
just saying
Brookman
that
over there.
just because you're gay doesn't mean that you're doing the right thing, and doesn't
Already
mean that
knew
you're
that.
politically
This is like
correct.
breaking news.
That's
A few years later.
Well, it turns out that King James was actually just his porn name.
Oh, he might be a porn con.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
All right.
Never know.
Although did not have the king.
Oh, nope. All right.
He was not a king cobra.
Somebody else tell me something I didn't know.
You were
Okay,
there.
I
so
got
you remember.
something for you. I
All
got
right.
something for you.
Challenge.
There is
Okay,
history.
so with all the new dietary crazes out there, we have the keto thing, and it's like high protein, high fat, low carb,
Bacon.
right? Well, besides bacon, another protein that you could invest in, and so can you. We
boy.
all gonna do this because I am gonna get to my fighting
All their
weight
ears
for
perked up
sure.
when you said
Fighting
protein.
weight. I love that. I love that.
Okay. Anyways, but mycoprotein, okay? It's a fungus-based protein.
Fungus.
A
It
fungus
sounds
based.
delicious.
Kind of like mushrooms.
Yeah.
Fungus.
And I mean, basically it comes from mushrooms, okay?
Mushrooms.
But this is the most astonishing
Wait.
fact. It contains 13 grams. All right, let that settle in. 13 grams of protein per half cup.
Wow.
Hello.
And the chicken cutlets they make out of it are really good.
You don't
Like-
have to eat a cow, guys. All right,
They're
that's what
juicy
I'm
and everything.
saying.
Okay, hang on. So how much does a half a cup of that mushroom cost?
Well, that would be something I could have to get back to you later on. Okay.
Okay,
Well, I'll tell you this much.
Half a cup of truffles
Oh yeah.
is about $5,000 or $6,000.
She got
True that.
bougie on us.
But listen,
Yeah,
bougie
true.
on us.
listen,
Sorry,
but
baby.
we're not talking.
Listen.
We're not talking solely about truffles. You can eat a lot of. You can add a lot of mushrooms to your omelet in the morning, and you can also go out and get a supplement, which is the mycoproteins
All right.
in a powder and add it to your
Okay.
smoothie.
So are you going to
Okay?
cook something for us with
Somebody-
that?
I've had
Somebody
food
else
made
tell
out of
me
it, so it can't be that
something
expensive.
I
That's all
didn't
I'm
know.
saying.
Does anybody else
Yeah.
have anything
Well,
else?
it's pretty
Something
good.
I didn't
So
know.
I do.
All right, go ahead.
So
Impress me.
Impress you.
Yeah.
This month, okay, at the border, in 7 months, the number of interdictions has surpassed all the interdictions in 2018.
Now wait.
And so
Pause.
we're on order.
Okay.
On order for over 1 million
Now
interdictions.
try not to be political. That's very hard for you. Try not to be political for one moment. Explain to me in real layman terms.
Okay.
Why is the arrest situation or the capture situation? Why are the numbers skyrocketing? Why is that going on?
The numbers are skyrocketing because the U.S. is working on closing the border, right? And so the faster you get into the United States and can hide yourself within the border, the greater the probability that you will never go back and that you will have a place, at least safe harbor for the future.
Girl, it's not a lava moat.
So in other words, Trump's policies have made it worse. Okay, understood.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
So somebody else tell me anything else?
Everybody
covered it.
Yeah.
Everybody?
We've covered it? All right,
Yeah,
let's
we,
move on.
We put a wet blanket right on top of that segment.
Yeah, exactly right.
Pound, build the wall.
All right,
Build
fine.
the fucking
Okay,
wall.
we got it.
We heard
All
you.
right.
And throw Trump
we change
over.
the topic here?
Game of
let's
Thrones.
wait. Let's change the subject. And what is the best way to change the subject?
I'd swallow that again.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Let's do that.
Looking cute.
Like
And
a
we
cute.
I do that
we
anyway.
have at
But I
What's
look
Happening
cuter when I
Now
am angry.
A fashion expert. And he went to the bathroom. He's not here right now.
Oh!
But watch this little clip. It's only a couple of seconds of our fashion expert, Carlos Marrero.
It's just a picture, as gorgeous as it is.
Yes, exactly. All right. So apparently you didn't qualify for the video, just the slide.
Puerto Ricans, they cut the budget on us, bitches.
The budget was cut. All right, we're gonna play.
Because the white person is in charge.
Right, exactly. Thank you. This is America, after all. Come on, and we're near Palm Beach County.
So is Puerto
Oh,
Rico.
by the way, America. Yesterday, I was with two friends, and we went to Mar-a-Lago.
They
Of course
let you
you
in.
did.
Oh, of course
He was
you did.
converted.
Why?
I told them
It's
that
because you can.
It's one of those reptile
First,
people.
because
Next
of
time,
that.
invite me.
And
Will they not
second-
let you in?
And second, I went to Mar-a-Lago and I said, I'm here to go to the pool. And they let me right in.
You're not even
Listen,
Asian.
guys,
Just like
okay,
Lucy Liu,
give me a
right?
fucking break.
One of
I'm
Charlie's
not
Angels.
kidding. I went to Mar-a-Lago.
Okay,
Al,
next week I'm gonna try that and we'll see.
Right.
Power. Where's power?
I'm going with you.
Totally lost control of it's happening.
All right, I have
All right.
a question for you.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
All right.
Al,
Yes.
have you ever felt cute and you saved that?
He's never.
Why are you guys laughing? Excuse me, it's my segment, people. Oh my God, I lost control. So, have you ever felt cute and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna wear this shirt and I'm gonna go to this party and I'm gonna like turn it. And then turn it.
And then it turns out not to.
Then you walk in.
Oh, and then
the
cry.
doors open. Let me finish. Lips moving, still talking. So, the doors open. The party's going on. You walked in, and across the room, you see a beautiful child of God, cleverly disguised as a bitch, wearing the same outfit you're wearing.
Hello.
Have you ever had that?
Always. And most of the
Have
time,
you?
most of the time it's with most of the time they're doing a Versace knockoff. A Versace knockoff.
I don't have that problem.
Exactly. Well, tonight.
Don't bother my
Okay,
knockoff.
over here. So tonight we decided, instead of just talking about fashion, we decided who wore it best.
Who wore it best?
So
Boy, that's an original idea that's never been heard before. But go.
Wow. Says
all
Jurassic Park. Anyway. So we're going to start with some trends, and we're going to start with cutouts. And cutouts is a big trend on the runway.
Yeah, it is.
And there's two beautiful ladies. We have Miley Cyrus.
You look
and
sexy in this photo, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
So sexy.
And Taraja Handsome. And
Hanson.
sorry.
Yeah.
English is my second language.
Yeah, try to speak
But
English.
we are wearing the same dress. It's all cutouts, and I just think it's a well, I'm not going to say what I
don't
think.
tell
I'm
us.
Not, I just
Right.
cut myself.
Ask.
So what do we think about this?
Who wore it best?
Who wore it best?
Taraji, hands down.
Oh,
Disaster
Miley.
Really? I think
You would pick the
Miley.
white girl.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Power?
listen.
Okay.
I'm
We need to speed it up.
Personally,
for me,
I think that
the difference
Miley
for me is
wore
the
it better
tattoos.
because it's like tighter on her, and that one looks like a little frumpy, and I know she's hot underneath all that, so whatever.
All right, wait.
I have to call it as it is, and I
There
think
we go
Miley
with
wore
that.
it best.
The only person at the table that has these two at play in terms of I could sleep with you because of this is Josie. Which one would you sleep with because of
I mean,
this?
I would sleep with both of them. Okay, keep it. I don't care what dress they're wearing. Okay,
Especially after the vodka.
both of them. You know,
All right.
done.
All right.
I want to say, as
All right.
the expert, I think I'm not a fan of Miley Ray Cyrus. Obviously, I can't pronounce their name, but I think she looks better.
Okay.
I think
all
the
right.
tattoos
All right.
throw me.
Next one.
Okay, so
Who
the next
wore it best?
So everybody's in love with the new Victoria Beckham line of dresses, and we have two people wearing the Victoria Beckham, and one of them is actually her, and it's Claire Danes and Victoria Beckham. We have two dresses that are just fabulous, and I have to say
Victoria
this because
Beckham.
Frank Garcia made me say it, and I get $10 for this.
$10.
And yeah,
That's Claire Danes on the left,
Yeah.
not the one
Yep.
on the right.
Yep.
Wow.
No,
This
that's,
is Victoria
that's
Beckham.
on-
Yeah, yeah. No,
They're
I just
wearing the
remember
same-
Claire
That is
Danes.
the hottest man on the planet's wife.
I know, and she's smoking.
Oh, smoking.
I have to
All right.
turn
Which
this
who wore it
quicker.
best?
I just remember Claire Danes from the 90s. So.
Who wore it best?
Victoria Beckham.
Victoria Beckham.
And Homeland.
What do you think?
Victoria.
Claire
Yeah,
Danes.
for sure.
I think
So
the
called
shoes
Victoria
and,
Beckham.
the
Yeah.
whole accessories is awesome.
Yeah. All right.
I'm that
Alright.
gay, sorry.
All right. Next, who wore it best?
So the next one that I have is everyone. Oh wait, who am I talking? Who am I talking?
Oh my
about?
goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's all
a
about
car
Fringe. Thank you for
Oh
the
my
slide.
It's all about a car wash.
So everybody loves Fringe, and the cobalt blue is one of the colors of the season.
OMG.
And we have our lovely Project Runway, Heidi Klum. looking-
Heidi lost her job at America's Got Talent.
Okay,
Don't feel
where-
bad.
in our
She's
production
making coins
staff,
with
where is
Project
the car
Runway.
wash song?
Right.
Where's
She's
the
like
car
for
wash?
her.
Okay.
So who wore it best?
I'm going to have to say
I'm voting the car wash.
I'm voting the
Heidi Klum.
Fraggle Rock on the right there.
Fraggle Rock. There we go.
I think Heidi Klum. I can see Power turning this with a
I
number.
live for Fringe.
I could see you turning
Heidi
it.
Yeah,
Klum.
I could see
That's
you doing
really
this
hot.
right.
It is
Really?
hot.
Yeah.
Well, who wore it best? It looks the
anything
same
that
to
you
me.
do,
I mean,
any movement
like,
that
I
you
don't
make is so
know.
exaggerated with Fringe.
Heidi
I live
Klum, you
for
don't get
Fringe.
How
extra
can you
points
be
just
any
because you
more
look like a
exaggerated
car
than
wash.
this?
You know?
That's a mess.
There's
Heidi
no-
Klum
that's
looks
a mess.
fabulous.
All right.
Almost nothing.
You know what?
All right.
Rent is
That
due,
Heidi
and
Klum-
I need another $10. So Frank Garcia, thank you for silhouetting
All right.
that because
All
that
right.
was hard.
Next.
All right.
Who
So,
wore it best?
so we have the lovely Kim Kardashian wearing leopard print, and then we have Rooms to Go reclining chair wearing leopard print. So what do we
Kim
think?
Kardashian?
I want the chair.
I want the chair.
Seriously, Kim,
I want the chair.
if there's any chance, They're both overstuffed.
they're both
we're being
overstuffed.
told.
That is
if
so
there's
true.
any chance that I can be in the Ryan Seacrest production, I am totally supporting you. If not, I'm voting for the chair.
That's a cheap shot.
Well, they've had an equal
Oh
number
my
of
God,
men
he's
sitting on
selling
them,
us
so-
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I say rooms to go.
Okay.
I'm going with
what
the
do y'all
chair.
think?
The
You're
chair.
going
with the
with the
chair,
chair?
yeah.
All right, good.
Looks like
All
it should be a beanbag
Final
chair,
one.
though.
Before you show the slide, okay? So I actually posted this particular slide of Molly Smith and Beth Stern on my page just to promote this segment. And it was just a bore because they're just two white blonde girls.
Yeah.
But then one of our production people found this
Found it.
show.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Hey, wait.
Oh
I kid you not. I kid you not.
Oh my God.
The ones on the left I posted because I thought it was boring and we were not going to talk about it.
There's
but
a reason.
I mean,
it
I'm
was
a lesbian.
shower
I am a
curtain.
little bit
This is
passionate, but that's ridiculous. No?
This is a Dolce & Gabbana dress that cost $2,745.
Take your Dolce & Gabbana, okay?
Okay.
So I'm a cat lady and I don't love pussy, but I actually like the Bed Bath & Beyond.
all I can think of is Carol Burnett. And,
Yes!
And Gone with the
and
Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
Oh my God!
Absolutely.
That is so good. 90% of you watching right now have no idea what
Look
we're
it
talking
up.
about. Look it up. Exactly.
Old people, okay? It's all right.
Right. All right.
So this is how you do.
Yeah.
Who wore it
All right.
best?
So this is
my
Who Wore It Best,
my
another
God.
fashion segment with our
I'm
famous
traumatized.
fashion designer, Carlos Marrero. Thank you, Carlos, very much
Carlos
for your
Marrero.
contributions. Nobody's applauding.
Yeah. Carlos.
Nobody likes
Carlos.
I kind of want a suit.
Sorry,
out of that dress.
Dolce. I know
right.
you're doing fierce things, but that is not my
Oh,
favorite.
by the way, let me tell you something. I was at the Breakers yesterday.
And you met Dolce.
No.
Oh.
Listen, I was on
He
Worth
was at the
Avenue.
Cabana.
I do not spend that kind of money. I do not. I went into a Ralph Lauren shop on Worth Avenue. I thought about you. It was shocking to me because I was with two friends and we went into Ralph Lauren, and Ralph Lauren is kind of
Classic.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But you know, it's kind of
I mean,
a little tired.
commercialized.
I saw a jacket that was breathtaking and a tie and a shirt, and I went in and said, "Oh my God, Ralph Lauren, my budget, because of Ralph Lauren, I could do this." It was so beautiful. The jacket was $5,000.
What color was it?
It was black. The shirt was $2,000. The
It's like
tie
his purple
was
one.
Are you using a chip for this
$1,000
story, or?
on Worth Avenue in Palm Beach.
And you bought
but
it.
was Ralph. No, I did not. But it was
Who was
Ralph
it from
Lauren.
again?
And I asked Ralph Lauren, and I asked, wait, there's stuff here in this store that I have never seen before, and something, you know this. I did not know this until yesterday. Even the middle range, Michael Kors, etc., they have luxury lines that are only shown to people that can spend the money in the luxury lines. And they have a luxury brand.
You're used to go to
Wow.
Ralph Lauren, the Target version.
Yes, or Macy's.
So this
right.
no, but there's
Couture
designers that are
version.
exclusive that is not Ralph Lauren necessarily designing.
Yeah.
It's other designers that they hire to do the
Higher
bougie
end.
line.
Yeah.
Listen, remember Ralph Lauren, the purple line? Do you
Oh,
remember
yes,
that?
yes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
All right, so one more time, let's thank Carlos Marrero
Yes.
for bringing this fashion
Thank
segment.
you, Carlos.
Oh wait, and I brought something else. Powers look. Not to plug myself, but can you plug me?
I was gonna plug it in my new favorite thing. Fuck that up.
All right. We
We'll
don't know what
wait,
you're
we'll
talking
wait.
Premature
about. We'll
on that
wait.
one.
All
We'll
right.
wait.
All right. Let's move on to our On the Road to Stonewall. America, this is one of our proudest moments. And tonight, I think you're really going to appreciate what we're getting ready to do. On June 29th, June 30th in New York, the World Pride Parade will celebrate Stonewall, our 50th anniversary of the civil rights movement of the gay community in America. It is very, very important. We have been doing this every week for about 4 months, celebrating a gay icon. Tonight, all of us universally agree we hit a bullseye. And we hit a bullseye, America, because this gay icon reminded us of how far we have come. Our gay icon on the road to Stonewall is Elizabeth Taylor. Watch this amazing edit.
I could never understand why they couldn't be afforded the same rights and protections as all of the rest of us. There is no gay agenda. It's a human agenda. All of us should be treated the same, and GLAAD knows that. Why shouldn't gay people be allowed to marry? Those against gay marriages say marriage should only be between a man and a woman. God, I of all people know that that doesn't always work.
America, why you're here tonight?
Why?
Why?
You mean you don't know already?
Tell us again.
I'm here to help fight AIDS. Nobody was doing anything about it. And it made me so angry. And I thought, it's got to start with someone.
I'm doing the same thing that a lot of my friends are doing. They're talking about it and getting angry. So I started AMFAR.
Each day in this world, 5,000 people become infected with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. Don't become one of them.
Look at how many you are. In just 2 short weeks, there will be as many new infections as there are people here tonight.
When I went to the Senate, they held a hearing, and a lot of senators and congressmen turned up. I think some of them just wanted to see what Elizabeth Taylor looked like and how fat she was. Actually, I was skinny at the time.
I am not here in Washington to make people like me. I'm here to speak about a national scandal. Nowhere in this new urban plan have I heard talk of fighting the ravages of AIDS.
I accept this award in honor of all the men, women, and children with AIDS who are waging incredibly valiant battles for their lives. I will remain here as rowdy an activist as I have to be, and God willing, for as long as I have to be.
I have put aside everything else, and I have dedicated my life to working for AIDS.
Protect yourselves, love yourselves, respect yourselves, because I will keep on telling you until you do, and I won't give in, and I won't give up, because the world needs you to live.
This has been such a great week for me. We talked about this at our host meeting, and all of us echoed and chimed in exactly the same way. We hadn't thought about Elizabeth Taylor in years, and it was a fantastic remembrance of how much she did for the gay community. Remember, Elizabeth Taylor was the first to stand up for Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson, arguably one of the most important movie stars in the world, who contracts AIDS, and she stands up and says, "He is my friend, and I love him unconditionally." And that leads to an entire series of events, including the creation of one of the greatest AIDS educational organizations in the world. As we celebrate our road to Stonewall, every week all of our hosts do some research, and they focus in on some of the greatest accomplishments of our gay icon on the road to Stonewall, and then tell you something highly personal about a quotation that they have said. Tonight is no different. I am exceptionally proud of tonight's presentation of the road to Stonewall, and you're getting ready to find out why. Let's begin our celebration of Elizabeth Taylor, and let's begin with power.
Well, Al, like you said, Elizabeth Taylor was one of the first celebrities to take part in HIV/AIDS activism. She co-founded the American Foundation for AIDS Research in 1985 and the Elizabeth Taylor Foundation in 1991. My favorite quote from her: "These have always brought me luck."
I love that. White diamonds.
White diamonds.
Reminds me. Yeah, that's lovely.
Look it up.
She would be so proud at this moment. All right. Aaron?
So Elizabeth Taylor's public image was carefully crafted and controlled as being different from ordinary people. And among other unique traits of hers, she was actually born with a genetic mutation that gave her purple eyes and a double set of eyelashes. Being different was her brand, and it landed her countless awards and 7 husbands. Elizabeth Taylor said, "I don't have a short temper. I just have a quick reaction to bullshit."
Which is something we embrace a lot here at It's Happening Out. Yes. Josie.
The Elizabeth Taylor Foundation donated and actually awarded $25,000 to the Los Angeles LGBT Community Center, and that money went to a project that they had going on called the Trans Lounge. Again, very vibrant in the community. Elizabeth Taylor said, "You just do it. You force yourself to put one foot in front of the other, and God damn it, you refuse to let it get to you. You fight, you cry, you curse, then you go about the business of living." That's how I've done it. There's no other way.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Carlos.
Well, I love that Taylor's relationship with the gay community provided a new model for the gay icon, because we were used to Judy Garland and her, the empathy that we had for her and her tragedy and all of that stuff. But she actually she rolled up her sleeves and she got busy. And what she did is that she opened the road for a plethora of other people. Yeah, I know that word. Madonna, Kylie Minogue, and even Lady Gaga. So I love that about her, that she opened the door for other people to like show up and show up for real. And my favorite quote is, "Pour yourself a drink, put on some lipstick, and pull yourself together."
Yeah, absolutely. Which we've done tonight, by the way. We've done
Exactly.
tonight.
Very
Joe?
true, very true. So in the past, if you've watched any of the shows, Whitman Walker in Washington, D.C. has a special place in my heart, because I'm actually alive because they were there when I was diagnosed. And in 1990, Whitman Walker began in 1973, but in 1990 they were a recipient of an MFAR award from Elizabeth Taylor, and with $142,000 in 1990, they opened the Elizabeth Taylor Medical Center, in which they expanded their services to HIV/AIDS victims, to counseling, to legal aid, as well as dentistry. It was a holistic approach to caring for gay men and lesbians in the community, so that there was a safe place to go and to be housed. They had housing for HIV and AIDS victims as well. So she had a tremendous impact in Washington, D.C., and it is a cornerstone on 14th Street in Washington, D.C. to this day as it's being redeveloped. The Elizabeth Taylor Medical Center is continuing.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's fabulous.
It is continuing to stay. And you'll see the new Whitman Walker Center, and Elizabeth Taylor Medical Center is the cornerstone of the new Whitman Walker Clinic there.
Nice.
She said, "It's bad enough that people are dying of AIDS, but no one should die of ignorance." And
No
so
one.
much of what she did was to make sure that the world was educated on AIDS and HIV. And Elizabeth, thank you. I owe you my life.
That's beautiful. America, we're very proud of our road to Stonewall at It's Happening Out. We're talking to young gay men and women right now. On June 30th, we're going to celebrate 50 years of a fight and a struggle. And you're going to decide, is what we have been through important to you. And we have celebrated this segment of the Road to Stonewall and talked about many different kinds of icons because we, of course, at this table believe the struggle has been valuable. But what's really important to you is, do you believe it? Yes. Between now and June 30th, in that march in New York City, you will decide, is the road to Stonewall worthwhile? And we hold Elizabeth Taylor up to you. Young, gay America, if you don't know about Elizabeth Taylor, Google her. Your heart will be full of love when you finish, because she spoke for you long before anyone else would. And that is why she is a gay icon on our road to Stonewall tonight. Amen. We want to talk next about someone that is iconic in the gay community in a different way, and that is Mayor Pete. Conversely, we're talking about somebody that is doing something that we haven't seen before. The Bishop Jackson has said that Mayor Pete, if elected, will turn the U.S. into a homomocracy. Homomocracy? Have I pronounced that correctly?
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And he's rising in the polls. We've prepared this little video about what is going on in America, so watch this.
You know, there's a lot of controversy, obviously, going on with the South Bend mayor, Pete Buttigieg, who has been sort of in a war of words with Vice President Pence. And you obviously have spoken out quite openly about being gay.
Look, Mayor Pete has been pushing this hate hoax along the lines of Jussie Smollett for a very long time now, several weeks. And I find it really ironic that Mayor Pete stayed silent about this so-called, hate hoax on him and others during, 2015, 2016, 2017, when Mike Pence was governor. There was total silence. It's ironic that right about now, when he's starting his fundraising apparatus to run for president, that he comes up with this idea and this attack. The gay community used to be the community pushing tolerance and diversity. We were the ones that were saying everyone should be able to accept and love each other. Now suddenly there's a whole community of people that are demanding that we all think alike. I think it's outrageous. And let me just say one more thing, is that when Mayor Pete came out, the vice president complimented him and said he holds him in high regard. The vice president, or the then governor, has said nothing but positive things about Mayor Pete. I think this is a total hate hoax, and I think it's outrageous.
Well,
oh God!
You might applaud. I'm not
know.
sure.
Yeah.
A lot being said. I thought the comments of the German ambassador, who is gay, were very interesting. A lot going on with Mayor Pete. We're showing you a slide right now. We're astounded. Look at this new poll done over the weekend. National poll showing that Mayor Pete, among the Democratic candidates, there are 27 Democratic candidates. He is number 3. 10 years ago, that would have brought America to a stop.
Yes.
20 years ago, America would have thought the world was ending. Tonight, in April of 2019, we go, nah, that's pretty good. So what's going on with Mayor Pete, and what do y'all think about how he is shaking up America? Any thoughts?
So first of all, okay, Mayor Pete being gay, in this moment, with someone thinking that if he becomes president, it'll become a homocracy. Well, then, if we elected Trump, does that mean we're an idiotocracy? Anyways,
depends who you ask.
Yeah.
You know,
arguably, yes.
Yeah,
but
that's what it means.
that being
a brilliant ocracy.
yeah, but
That's what it
that
means.
being said, you know,
listen, everyone is okay with Pete Buttigieg being gay in this moment while he's a potential candidate for presidency and the Democratic Party. The true test will be if he is selected as the Democratic candidate, okay, to go up against Trump. Now, let's just be real. That's what I'm talking about. You talk about 27 candidates possibly in this race who are looking to become president. I mean, it's very early, very early.
Yeah, well, I mean, just like having a black president did not fix racism in this country, having a gay president would not fix homophobia in this country. So, yeah, and we all already know how I feel about Mayor Pete.
Wait, explain that to us. Explain.
No, actually,
why do you
we
feel
don't.
about Mayor Pete and how you feel?
I
Explain
mean,
that.
without wanting to take up too much time here, you can go and
gonna
find me
give
on
you some time.
find me on Medium, and I've got a whole article literally about the
Give me
outlining
the bullet
reasons.
points. Tell me 3 reasons you don't like Mayor Pete.
Okay, well, first
Number
of all,
1.
he's staunchly pro-Israel and has come out in support of Israel's actions and the Israeli forces who have harmed and who have killed
got
unarmed
it.
Palestinians.
Number 2.
His record as far as race issues in South Bend is not great. The way that he has gone about his 1,000 homes program disproportionately displaced people of color.
I hear you. Number 3.
And number 3 being basically it ties into the racism thing too, but the racist misconduct among police officers in South Bend, that he ended up actually firing the first black police chief, basically because he didn't cover it up.
Now wait.
Because he didn't what?
Wait.
Because he didn't cover up the racist misconduct.
I want to put you on the hot seat. Aaron and I are good enough friends where I can do this. Please.
He says. He thinks.
I'm getting ready to prove
find
because
out.
we want to hear this opinion. Is it good enough to say that we have, for the first time in American history, a relatively intelligent gay candidate for president of the United States who is married, who has a relatively intelligent spouse who can speak? Is that good enough to forgive the issues that you have to run for president?
So here's the thing.
It?
I think it's not, those two ideas are not mutually exclusive. I can say, yes, it's a huge deal that we've come this far that we can have a gay presidential candidate and see it as actually have a potential for that to happen. And also critically analyze his policies and critically look at his views when it comes to global economics, when it comes to military interventions, when it comes to all kinds of different things. I don't see how it is impossible to say, yes, this is a big step forward for the community, but no, he is not somebody that I can support and not somebody that I would be excited about or feel safer with as our president.
Okay, I got it. But Aaron, now I want to ask another question, and it's really important. Please don't make the joke, because I ask a serious question. The Republicans clearly, no disrespect, Joe, the Republicans clearly do not care what President Trump, the worst parts of President Trump, they don't care about, because they're getting what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. In this instance, why is it not enough for us to be exactly like the Republicans? To say, because we get what we want, these other things are not important to us. Because the Republicans are willing to do that, why are you not?
Well, there's something to be said for 2 wrongs don't make a right, first of all. And there's something to be said for, like, why aren't we able to say that, okay, yes, I'm getting what I want in these ways, and I need to criticize what he's doing wrong.
Yeah.
Why can't we say both? Why can't we say, yes, Barack Obama did wonderful things and he did terrible things?
And
Why
I'm not
can't we say that about our
hearing Aaron
candidates?
saying that he will not, that Pete Buttigieg is totally not an option for him, but I am hearing him say that he is certainly not the option he would like.
Right.
Well, the
Now,
number
if
was the
it
top
was
option.
Right. If it was between, now question for you, if it was between Pete, say he was the primary winner.
Are we making
and
endorsements
if it was between Pete and Trump, what would you do?
Of course, if it's between Curious George and Trump, I'm going to vote for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not.
So that's what I thought. So it's not.
So he's
so
choosing,
I
he's
hear what
choosing
you.
the
I hear what you're
refrigerator.
saying.
Right. I'll choose the refrigerator if it comes down to it. But in all seriousness, just because. Listen, just because you support a candidate does not mean that you can't criticize a candidate. Does not mean that you cannot protest against a candidate.
There lies the definition of the problem that we have in
No,
our
I think the
community.
definition of the problem that we have is that we're not willing to do that. The fact that, please let me finish, the fact that we are not willing to say, yes, I support this person, this issue, this thing, but I can't sit there and also talk about why it can be better, why I can expect accountability from the person who has my vote or will have my vote. I expect them to be accountable, and I always expect that we can do better. That is not a cynical comment. That is a painfully unrelenting amount of hope.
Let me ask it in a different way. Why did we get Bill Clinton as president in 1992? There was only one reason.
Girl, I was 3 years old in 1992.
Okay,
so.
but without the joke. The one reason we got Bill Clinton in 1992 was called Ross Perot. That is the only reason.
Correct.
It is. And Ross Perot defeated Bush.
Yes.
He siphoned out 12% of the vote to bring Bill Clinton, who is arguably one of the greatest presidents in history. He would not have been president of the United States. My question to gay America, I completely hear you. You obviously know you and I are so close. We are so close in our thinking. But my point is, Mayor Pete is in front of us, or Joe Biden, or whoever it might be. But let's talk about Mayor Pete. He is so close that compared to Donald Trump, there's no question we want Mayor Pete, you and I.
Yeah.
So as a result, we, even with all his flaws, are willing to commit so ravenously to Mayor Pete, exactly as Joe has shown us on Donald Trump.
I think that's what we did. Hold on. Let me answer the question that I've been asked.
I need to respond, okay?
Okay.
So you just need to wait a minute. Because what you're saying is that it doesn't matter about policy, it's all about personality. Because you look at what Donald Trump has accomplished in terms of higher wage rates.
I'm very interested in what you were saying. I'm very interested in what you were saying.
Let me take
personality conversation is not even relevant here.
Hold on. I want to value this conversation. I do not care about Mayor Pete. I do not care about Donald Trump.
I don't care about your personality.
Let me take that off the table. For a moment, the value of this conversation is now, it's not the politics of what Donald Trump does or what Mayor Pete does or what any of the Democratic candidates are. My question is, can we rally along and support a candidate that is electable? So Florida and Ohio, which the
Can I respond?
Please.
At the point
and
of
I'm not disagreeing with you because I respect your opinion. But my point is, it's not his politics. It's not,
and it's not the personality.
It's not the personality. It's what we can support.
And after the point of the primaries, when a candidate for the Democrats is selected, yes, then I believe. Hold on, I'm knocking shit over here. Yes, at the point of the primaries, then yes, we can rally behind whoever is chosen against Trump. Right now, we are only having the conversation about who will be up against each other for the primaries. We did the same thing with Hillary Clinton.
I
rallied behind Hillary Clinton, and I had just as many things to say about her.
Your point is, through the process of the primaries, you are testing lots and lots of people.
That's why we're the United States of America, because there is a process, and we have the right to choose, and we have the right to be heard.
And I want
guys,
the best possible
you are
people.
born inherently with the worthiness to be heard. Speak to be heard, not to just talk.
Well, I don't understand where Aaron was unclear about that from the get-go.
Right, thank you.
Because brown people were brought up differently.
You're speaking Aaron speak faster than I think lots of America that might understand it. And that's why I'm trying to clarify that for you. and I'm trying to clarify it for Joe, because really, I'm in the exact same location. I want to make sure Joe is clear on Donald Trump, but I want to make sure you're clear, because even in the host meeting today, I thought it was so fascinating of your negatives on Mayor Pete and why. You've clarified that significantly for me.
Very much so.
At this point, I wouldn't give a hot hoot if one of the Democratic candidates lit an orphanage on fire. I just want anybody that can beat Trump.
Okay.
Where's the bell?
Listen, I don't share that sentiment. I don't share that sentiment.
The bell
I don't
did not
want just
ring.
anyone.
Where's the bell?
I'm invoking the bell. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Thank
no,
you.
we're not.
All right.
No, we're not.
Come on,
Sorry.
girl.
I've been waiting for you bitches to shut the hell up.
I forgot he got a
right.
chip.
Now
Because-
we're going to hear from the Latin boy.
Well,
The other one.
Okay, so
The other one,
there is that. There is no perfect candidate, I
course.
believe. There's none. But what I love is that for over 40 years, the nation of Christian beliefs and how to vote was promoted by the Republicans. And I love that Pete, he's my friend, so I don't call him mayor. And I just love the fact that he's bringing the church and the Christianity back to us, because this is the year that we have a candidate that happens to be gay, and he's making an argument. To me, it's not the fact that he's gay and cute and doable. This is the fact that he's smart, polite, caring, a Christian, and he's taking Christianity back from the freaking Republicans.
Intelligent.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
He knows all the white things to say.
Well,
Like I said, when we first started talking about
come
it.
on. We need
Listen,
to.
I was at Churchella this weekend, okay?
You-
It's my
Your
chip, bitches.
Right, right.
You know.
No,
Oh,
go ahead. We're going to give you a few more seconds.
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
I can see.
he's somebody that obviously, speaking from the heart, his boyfriend is also a husband. Sorry, and I just love the fact, as a Catholic man, that he's actually saying, "No Republicans. I'm a Christian. I love God, and I am still voting for a Democratic agenda."
I'm telling all of you right now, all of you, I'm telling
Troublemaker over
America
there.
right now, our go forward, starting in May 2019, over the next 15 months, it is no longer acceptable for me to say Donald Trump is good. It is no longer acceptable to say Donald Trump is bad. It is not valuable. Donald Trump is going to win the election in November of 2020. I'm predicting it right now.
I predicted it 2 weeks ago.
Unless we move out of Donald Trump is bad. Now, of course, Joe has a different perspective, and I respect his perspective and what he's going to say. But if we continue to have this conversation, we're going to elevate the conversation beyond where we've been so far. That is my challenge to all of you.
Let me translate that for you. If you guys out there who do not like Trump, don't start being or stop being obsessed with Trump and start thinking about the issues and the solutions that we all need to create and come around in order to have what we say we want happen in this world, then yeah, I'm probably going to have to back you on that, Al.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of really good conversation here. Of course, and to all of my friends that go, "Oh my God, Al, you fucking talk about politics all the time." It's the most topical subject on the planet.
Finally.
It affects every single thing in your life. If
And if
you
it doesn't, it
don't
will soon.
understand that, what fucking rock are you living under? In every possible way.
Privilege.
Either Joe's perspective, which I totally respect,
And we respect
gets
Joe.
out there and says, this is what's great for America, or other perspectives gets out there and says, this is what's great for America, and we encourage everyone in November of 2020 to get to the fucking voting polls and vote. And then we'll decide, and then shut up.
Salty language.
That's what's going to
Your
happen.
brain.
Shut up.
Church.
I wish
Church.
you had said that after 2016, all right?
Right, okay, all right.
That wasn't gonna
Let's
happen.
move on after all of
That wasn't gonna happen,
this
Joe,
to
okay?
something more fun. Shag, marry, chop.
Don't ever
all right,
shut up.
let's
That's the
shag and
problem.
marry
I'm not
and
in the
chop.
mood to shag nobody.
All right.
Oh, I'm in the mood to shag everybody right now.
Angry sex right here.
He
All
likes
right,
I'm knocking
let's
the
play our
table
game,
off
shag, marry,
my
chop.
right now.
All right. I'm sorry. I get a little passionate.
Don't worry,
on
you're
this
safe,
subject.
girl, you're safe.
I do. All right. Shagging means who
I
we
promised
would like
Peggy I
to sleep
Sleep.
with,
Cheat on her.
who would we marry, and who would we cut off. All right, let's play 3 games of shag, marry, chop. First off, before we show the slide, let's go to the boy bands, and in honor of a few of my host friends, let's gang bang. All right, our boy band gang bang.
I don't want to
Yeah,
know
we're
that.
going to gang bang
Oh,
the Backstreet Boys,
Oh, God.
or
Oh, wait.
NSYNC, or 98
Hold up, I'm
Degrees.
gonna need my
Somebody
glasses for
jump
this one.
right in. Who would you
I'll
gang
jump-
bang?
I'm gonna gang bang Backstreet Boys, and I'm gonna chop the other 2.
No, that's not right. You got to marry one of them.
Oh, child.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a lot of people.
Well, I will then shag NSYNC because Justin Timberlake is in there. I will marry Backstreet Boys, and I'm going
Backstreet
to chop
Boys.
98 Degrees.
Okay, this one's easy for me. I'm going to shag the Backstreet Boys because they had AJ and Howie, who were both bad boys. I'm going to marry 98 Degrees because back in the 90s, when I was just a wee little thing, I was so in love with the lovely, beautiful, romantic words of 98 Degrees. And I'm going to chop NSYNC because Justin Timberlake is in it.
All right.
I'm following Aaron. I'm shagging the Backstreet Boys. I'm marrying 98 Degrees because of all. I mean, so romantic,
God.
right?
It's ridiculous. It was disgusting.
I'm curious, who 98 Degrees,
Chop it.
Backstreet Boys, or NSYNC, who has the absolute best total song, period, the end?
Oh man,
Backstreet's
Backstreet.
back. All right.
NSYNC.
Yeah.
Really?
What's that
NSYNC?
one? Wait, yeah. What's? Oh shit, I don't even remember. It's got to be NSYNC. I think
You're
it's
out.
Yeah,
NSYNC.
NSYNC
All right.
has.
Who
All
are you-
right, so I will shag the Backstreet Boys. I will marry NSYNC and 98 Degrees. As much as I want to shag you too, I have to chop you.
All right.
the one with the
And
string
Joe?
I am
puppets?
going to shag 98.
Now
video
wait,
was
I
that?
want to make sure that you know
What song was
Backstreet
that?
Boys.
the
What song was
ramifications
that?
of these choices
Let's look.
is probably, I don't know this firsthand, but
NSYNC.
probably all of these boys are horrified that a log cabin Republican is choosing them in any possible way. So
You
now,
might be
go.
surprised.
I might be. All right, go ahead.
I'm definitely going to shag 98 Degrees. Every one of them. All at once.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
All at once.
They're cute.
Hell yeah.
They're like little
They're hot
cuties.
Have you seen this bitch in a cruise? That room was busy, honey.
All right.
I'm going to marry the Backstreet Boys.
Are you?
And I'm sorry, Justin, but you're going to get axed. Sorry.
Okay.
buddy.
All right. Now, before we show the slide, let's
He's
go.
much cuter now.
Let me tease you. If we were going to go gay for pay, let's think about it.
Why would we all
would
go gay for
choose
free?
Matt Damon from Behind the Candelabra, or James Franco, I Am Michael, or Heath Ledger from Brokeback Mountain. Gay
Oh,
for pay.
I could see
Which
Aaron
would it
already
be?
here.
So easy for me.
Is it? Tell us why is it so
for me,
easy?
Because I've always had a burning desire for Heath Ledger. So I would and James Franco. So I would shag James Franco.
Okay.
Repeatedly.
Wait, I'm curious. Franco, who's the top? Who's the bottom?
Who? Well, we do both, honey.
Oh, back and forth.
Versatility is the new black,
That's
girl.
right.
Yasker.
And Heath Ledger, definitely marry him. Raise him from the dead.
Do y'all
resurrect
remember
him.
Brokeback Mountain?
Yes.
Did you ever do the stop motion of seeing their penises as they jumped off the cliff into the water?
No, only you do creepy
can
shit
see
like
it.
that, Al.
You can see Heath Ledger's
In your
penis.
VHS, like back and forward, back and forward, back and forward,
Child,
back
don't
and
you
forward.
read me that way. All right. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to. Oh, see, damn. All right, I'm gonna shag James Franco. I'm gonna marry Heath Ledger, but I want the Joker version of Heath Ledger. Just saying.
Angry sex.
Yeah, all right. Who else?
And I'm definitely chopping Matt Damon. He looks like a lesbian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He looks like a lesbian in the 90s.
Speaking of which,
not the
speaking of
story
which,
at all. Not the
Still
Disney
the
movie.
boy.
Shagging No, just kidding.
Ziegfeld
Not that
and
there's
Roy.
anything wrong with that.
All right,
Yeah.
who else? Who else?
I'm gonna shag Heath Ledger because I freaking love him.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, but he's
I'm
dead, so this is just a
sad.
fantasy.
His
okay.
death was so
Yeah.
tragic.
Yes, it was.
Tragic.
I'm gonna marry James Franco because he's just brilliant.
Did you see the
James
movie This Is the
Franco.
End?
Franco.
My God, I fell in love with him in This Is the End.
He's fun.
so
He's rock and
hot.
roll,
Oh my
man. That's what I'm talking about.
You know where I fell in love with him was Spider-Man.
Matt Damon, even though we're
Really?
gonna
Yes.
meet soon, and we'll work on big things together. I have
Like
to
his
chop you in
hairdo.
this moment because that's
All right.
what's going on.
Okay. Who else?
So I'm gonna marry Heath Ledger.
Okay.
I am going to shag Matt Damon,
Of
and
course.
I am gonna chop James Franco.
You're like, you totally
course.
shagging Matt
Does it make-
Damon.
I'm going to be different than all of that.
Okay.
I'm going to shag the hell out of James Franco, and I'm going to marry Matt Damon.
Really?
I want that blonde boy. And sorry, Heath, you're on the
Heath is out. I'm curious to any of you. This was worded in a very specific way. These were the gay characters that they played. Now, they played many much more masculine characters. Does it make any difference
We
to
didn't
you in
even look
terms-
at that.
I didn't even.
See,
I didn't
that's
even
what's
know.
interesting.
I didn't
because
see any
this
of those
was
movies.
set up to be focusing like on Ziegfeld and Roy. Matt Damon was designed for Ziegfeld and Roy, and y'all just totally dismissed that.
I had never seen any of those three movies. so.
Okay, interesting. All right,
You
let's
haven't
move on
seen
to
any of the movies?
Not even Brokeback Mountain. No, I've never
You know,
seen
there
it.
is pop culture. You know that,
Homophobic.
right? Okay.
Okay,
Even
I'm
trans
homophobic.
people
We're gonna have
like
to
those.
watch
I know.
All right,
I hate Mayor
before
Pete,
we-
and I've never seen Brokeback
Before
Mountain.
we show slide 3, wait for me. All right. We are sponsors, and it's happening out a big event, Labor Day weekend. It's a theme event called PornCon. Think DragCon or Comic-Con, but you think of it with porn stars. The biggest names on the planet are going to be here in Fort Lauderdale. So it got us thinking.
The biggest
in
what?
productions,
Oh,
porn
names.
stars,
Names.
right?
Got
It
it.
got us thinking. Before you show the slide, what is it about gay boys and girls that are into size? What is it about us that are into size? Seems more than...
Oh, I can't wait to hear this
Yes.
conversation.
All right. Right. So we give you a choice of sizable porn stars. And our choices, of which all three will be at PornCon.
Ooh,
Robert
really?
Steele, Boomer Banks, and our own hometown boy, Antonio Biaggi.
Oh God,
Shag,
that's weird.
marry, chop. Jump in.
Okay. Oh man. See, I don't watch porn, so this is like a first for me to even. Who is that one in the middle? He's fucking.
Boomer
Oh, you should
Banks.
see him.
So I'm banging the
Now we're
hell out
moving-
of. I mean, I'm
we're
shagging
in
the hell out of
double
Boomer
digits
Banks.
on all three.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna get to double
Yes,
digits
you
with
do.
Mr. Middle here.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So, now I get it. In that case,
All of them.
Lord, I'm shagging and marrying Boomer Banks here.
No, only
yeah.
shagging.
No, yeah,
Now,
no.
who
You
are
don't get
marrying?
you don't get to make all the rules all the time, old white
I
man.
most certainly do. It's America. Yes, I do.
Okay, fine. Then in that case, I'm gonna shag Rocco Steele. You know,
He
it'd
talks
be-
dirty.
Yeah, it'd be a hot like daddy thing for a one night stand.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm
Aaron.
marrying Boomer Banks.
Now,
We're
wait,
gonna have
wait.
the.
Rocco would talk to you in a way that I'm pretty sure you would go, holy crap.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
I've
He's
seen
a
him in
dirty-
action.
he's a dirty-
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like
I've
it
seen
rough
him in
around the
action.
edges. So Boomer, yeah, we're gonna get married for sure. And it's gonna be the most volatile marriage ever. And Antonio, you've become like a brother to me. I'm sorry.
It's hard to.
You're
I know, it's
chopping.
kinda weird,
Yeah, I'm
dude.
chopping you, Antonio.
I texted all three of them.
But when we make the video, I'll call you up and you
I
can be the
believe-
production company.
I believe all three are watching right now, by the way. I do believe they are. All right? Who else?
OMG. So I've seen everyone except Antonio. I've only, hung out with you. Like we're like
Right,
cool.
you're right down
you
the
know
street
what
from it.
I mean, oh,
You
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen the dong?
Not Antonio's. Believe me, I looked it up
Really?
too. Don't worry, I'll,
Here,
I'll
hold
find
on.
it. Okay.
I think you got
but
him on
I
speed
kind of have
dial.
the same sentiment as you, Aaron. And oh, by the way, Rocco, I've seen you too, girl. Okay, you're kind of like Piggy. I like
could tell
that.
y'all stories.
Uh,
oh my God, could I tell you stories?
Man, this is very hard because it's all hot.
Pick.
You get what I mean?
Come on, baby
Pick.
girl.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to
Cook one?
This is why
shag.
she's a lesbian.
I'm gonna shag Boomer. I'm gonna marry Antonio because you an entrepreneur. I like that. Okay, and we
Always
can have an
working.
open relationship. And Rocco, I have to cut you because that's the game, okay?
All right. Somebody else?
I'm going to shag
thinking of
Boomer.
work.
Shag Boomer.
I think Antonio is one of the sweetest people, and he has a beautiful arm. And I will chop Rocco.
Okay. all
Arm.
right. Joe?
I'm going to shag Antonio Biaggi. He is a great bottom.
Yes.
He does.
Oh.
He is.
Yeah.
He does.
All right.
He does.
All right.
And then that's the
I'm
last time
gonna-
Antonio was ever on the show.
Oh, see, that could work. I didn't know you were a
Antonio
bottom,
Biaggi has been a
Antonio.
guest
We're gonna be like, can you come be on the show? He's be like, is Joe there?
Because he's just hot as shit. And sorry, Rocco.
Yeah. Have I got everybody now?
Yeah, you got
Okay. Let me wait.
Wait
we
a
didn't do
minute.
power. Thank you. Power.
You got everybody.
Power don't want to get in this conversation.
Thank you, Frank Garcia. Thank you.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Exactly. Hello,
Oh,
sir.
no.
And don't worry
Power.
about time. We got plenty of it.
Yeah, we're already 3 hours in.
So
You're shagging.
Oh my goodness.
Kyle, I hope you're watching.
Okay. Boomer is my thing. He is my thing, and so is Rocco. And Antonio, I feel like I have gotten to know him.
Who are you shagging?
And we know you don't like to sleep with people you know, girl.
I don't.
Oh!
I know.
I don't like to sleep with people I
I
know.
share that sentiment.
Sorry.
Who are you shagging?
So, but my husband would kill me if I didn't shag Antonio Biaggi.
Oh!
But my husband loves him to death, but Antonio is like my Brister, brother and sister. So he's gonna have to be, but I love him the most.
Such a smart man, too,
Yes.
by the way.
So I am going to shag this child, Boomer Banks, and I am going to have to marry Rocco Steele so he could slap me around every day.
Oh!
I mean, Boomer
We have
is
so much in
hot.
common.
Let me tell you a real quick story on each one. Rocco Steele and I, we've had dinner together many times. He's been up to Sawmill. He performs there a lot.
Never a quick story.
I floated the idea of PornCon to Rocco and said, I have this idea, and this might be really cool. And when
Halfway through fellatio, we
when
started
many
this
people
conversation.
rejected the idea of, wait, you can't do adult entertainment and people won't respect it, he was one of the first person that said, wow, that's a brilliant idea. Rocco Steele is an attorney.
What?
He's an attorney. He's smart as a whip, and I love that. Boomer Banks, I communicated with and talked to today, and Boomer Banks did something really interesting that I have to tell this story for. This image that you're looking at, Boomer, which is beautiful, the boy is beautiful. Period, the end of story. This picture is 5 years old.
So.
And in our youth-obsessed culture, especially in porn, this man, who is a real man, says, that image is 5 years old, stop using it. I'm going to give you a current picture. And I fell in love with Boomer Banks and said, that is a man.
That's big dick energy.
Bam!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't matter what size it
Boomer,
is. It matters what
you
size.
are awesome. And Biaggi, Antonio Biaggi, has Hush Spa here on Wilton Drive and may run for city commission in Wilton Manors, Florida. This is one of the smartest guys that I have met that would run for political office. And regardless of what you do in your entertainment business, this is the guy.
Oh, he might run for city commission?
He might run
Which
for
means
city
he'll
commission.
probably be
Yeah.
a lot more powerful than he is now. Well, can
Yeah.
I change my answer?
So will I.
All three of these
You
gentlemen.
should have said that before.
Exactly.
we wrote
That's
it.
why I saved it into the end.
Hey,
All
Joe.
three of these gentlemen are totally gentlemen. All three. And I just tell you, great
One thing I want to
opportunity.
say
Yeah.
is that Boomer Banks has his own fashion line.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, the last thing we're going to do tonight is a real quick game of this or that. Before we sign off the show, we'll play this or that. All of our hosts have to choose this or they have to choose that, and they're going to do that. All right, everybody knows how to play the game. We're going to close our show tonight of It's Happening Out with this or that. Question number one.
Wait, can you repeat that?
This or that.
The good.
I'm not clear on the rules.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like you. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
I'm
we
still
ever liked each other.
deciding.
It's okay.
Different versions.
Right,
guys.
exactly. All right. The good of all or the good of yourself? This. You get to pick the president for the next 8 years, and it happens. Or that. I give you $50 million. Tax-free, of course.
That, give me $50 million. I don't care. See you later.
All right.
That $50 million, the ship is going down anyway.
Really? Wait, hold on. Joe?
Oh, this.
This?
Yes.
You get to pick the president.
It's my next generation for my kids.
All right. All right. And
I'll take the money.
you'll take the money now. Put your money where your mouth is.
Do I love the $50 million more than I despise Trump? I'm sorry, I despise Trump even more.
Oh.
So I will pick this.
All right.
Choose the
There
next
we
president
go.
for the next
That's
8 years.
fascinating to me. Question 2, this or that. If I had to choose one superpower, this, be able to read people's thoughts, or that, be able to read and sense people's emotions. Which would you rather have?
This.
Thoughts?
This. I
Thoughts
want to
or
read your
emotions?
thoughts.
Definitely this, thoughts.
This.
I can already feel
Thoughts?
people's emotions. It's
This,
enough
yes.
for me.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Thoughts, yes.
Really? All thoughts.
I'm
Interesting.
already too empathetic.
Yeah, me
Okay,
too.
all
I'm
right.
like, I don't want to feel
Final
you guys too
question
much.
tonight on this or that, final thing that we do in the show of It's Happening Out. If my life depended on me choosing correctly, if my life depended on me choosing correctly,
I'm screwed already.
this, Donald Trump will win in 2020, or that. Now remember, you're choosing if your life depended on it, not what you want. We already know that. Or that. Trump is going to lose for 2020. Your life depends on this choice.
I've been saying it. I think Trump is going to win, unfortunately.
This.
Trump's going to win.
This.
Trump's going to win. Your life depends on it.
That, and I'm going to do everything in my life to make sure that doesn't happen. Hello, guys.
This or that?
That.
Trump's going to lose.
Trump's going to lose.
All right.
If I have anything to do with it.
Look at me
girl.
like that.
I
Just
hate that
accept my answer.
question.
He's looking at me like I should change I said what I said.
I said what I said. Okay.
And we
it's
know
a
you like to
very
be right,
interesting
so it's
question
not like
in
you're
terms of
gonna-
what's
It's
not like
actually
I'm gonna
going to
die
happen.
anyways.
America, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. This is America's most popular live gay talk show. We're coming from the Grand Hotel in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There are hosts here. There are hosts for our events. We love the Grand Hotel. We thank them so very much in terms of being our hosts. And you've got to come to South Florida and stay at this hotel.
on
You'll
down.
absolutely love it. So as we say goodnight, we always close the show with we're hungry as hell. So we have a sponsor that brings us pizza, and it's called Jets Pizza. I'm looking for the Jets Pizza. Wait.
Who's this?
Wait. There's
Who is
no
this?
Thomas. There is an attractive black guy.
Hold up, we upgraded.
I mean another one.
Production's giving me this card that says Mark is here. Thomas is not here tonight. Mark is our pizza guy for tonight. Mark,
Hey, Mark.
where's Thomas?
I don't know. Since he's been on the show, Thomas has had a lot of big, burly guys calling him.
Get it, Thomas.
Wait, Mark is not talking about Al. I want to make sure. Oh, maybe he is. Maybe he is. All right. So, Mark, thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
This is Mark's first night here. Oh, okay.
He's gonna
Here
teach
we go.
Al how to
All
open a
right.
box.
Here we go. All right. All right. Thank you, Mark. Now get off my camera.
we love
get out of
Jets
my
Pizza.
camera, Mark. We're glad you're here. Thomas, we miss you. We welcome you back soon. That is tonight's show. It's happening out. We hope you've had a good time. And we'll be here next Wednesday and every Wednesday after that. The next 18 months are really important to America. And remember, America, we're searching for that gay community. To say goodnight, we begin with Power Infiniti.
Good night, children.
And my friend Aaron Phoenix.
Good night, gender fuckers.
And my friend Chef Josie.
Good night, people. Stay woke. Stay hungry.
And we're going out on Wilton Drive tonight.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Come with us, America, right? And my
After
friend
hours.
Carlos Marrero.
Good night, everyone. And remember, white diamonds.
And my friend, and this is true, and all of us believe this, you can be of different political persuasions.
Sure.
We might not like X or Y or Z, but that does not affect your friendships. All of our friendship with Joe.
Good night, family. We are all part of a family. We need to stick together.
And remember, America, we're searching for gay community. We're on our march to Stonewall. We are looking for it, and we want you to come on the journey with us. We believe. If it's important to you, remember, it's happening out. Good night, America.
Good night.